Joe Rogan Podcast. Check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
Dude, you're all suited up. You got a wild card boxing hat on, a Bruce Lee shirt. Come on, son.
Hey, we got the yellow and thing going on.
Yeah, you got it all going on.
Yeah.
What's happened? Great to see you.
Man, things are really well. This
That's
thing is
good.
a little loud.
Is it? There's on that thing there's a little volume knob. You can turn that sucker down.
There it is.
Last time I saw you was at Terry Black's barbecue.
Yeah.
Random run in.
That was crazy.
That was
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, man. I was thinking about going there right after this. I'm like, what? Terry Black's? That place was no joke.
That place rules.
Yeah, man.
Are you still in L.A.?
Yeah.
What's it like?
It's cool, man.
Is it?
Yeah.
You like it? You're the only person that said that.
No. Yeah, well, because, I defend L.A. in a way where, first of all, if you got a handful of good people with you, around your family, then it's,
Sure.
so the fact that L.A. has all kinds of different things. You could be on a hiking trail in 20 minutes. You could be
geographically, it's amazing.
Yeah, and the weather, you can't.
You can't
really
beat it.
But so if you got good people, good friends with you,
Yeah.
then it's all good.
You just run by crooks. It's a nice neighborhood run by the mob. It's run by the woke mob.
Yeah.
But I mean, geographically, you can't beat it. You could be at the ocean, and then you could be in the mountains in 2 hours.
Yeah. So I mean, that's even if you don't partake, it's still cool. It still amps up the ante, really.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like the spot itself is magical.
Yeah.
It is a magical place to live. Although, I am deeply concerned that motherfucker is going to get hit with a big one soon.
It's about time, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was reading this article about massive earthquakes in California and how often they're spread out and the possibility of one of them happening within the next decade. It's very high.
Yeah. I try not to think about that.
I try not to think about it too. But
But and now there's, you can. I think they have better detection of that stuff now too. It's better.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They can't detect.
Well,
Do you remember what happened in Italy? A couple guys got arrested and went to jail. They were seismologists because the country didn't understand the ability to detect it. They had a big earthquake and a bunch of people died, and so they blamed these geologists or seismologists. They wound up winning in court on appeal because eventually the science was revealed. Like, hey, there's no fucking way you can really tell. But they hung these guys out. They blamed these guys on not being able to detect it.
man. Well, I mean, just think about it. The last crazy ones was 72 and then 94.
Yeah. I
Right.
think it was 93. I moved to LA right after the last big one. I saw one of the sections of the highway that had collapsed on the other one. I remember driving by going, fuck this place.
I was in the middle of that one. I came into LA.
Oh, you were there?
Dude, I don't even like to tell the story about what happened during that 94 earthquake.
Oh.
Because it sounds like bullshit. But literally, I got up, ran out of my house, my apartment at the time, jumped off the balcony, and watched it happen.
You watched the house collapse?
I watched the earthquake happen from outside.
Oh.
It's like no bullshit. Everybody. So I thought, oh shit, I overreacted. I had a bad dream. I lived on the first floor of this apartment building. All I know is I wake up, I'm off balance, catching my balance in the parking lot, right? And like, oh shoot, I gotta find the guard to get me back in the apartment building, right? And I'm thinking, what's like I've lost my mind or something. The next thing you know, everything shakes and the lights go out. Just everything gets black. And so I'm backing, I retreat back because I'm thinking the building is going to fall on me. And I'm like, wait a minute. Then I got the story from everybody else that experienced it. They said that the first thing that happened was the building shook and the lights went out. Well, I was outside watching that. So I'm outside when it happened. like some kind
So
of
what
canine.
made you jump over the?
I don't
You
know.
had a feeling,
Dude.
or did you have like the first? Was it the first rumbles?
I thought I reacted to the like some kind of an aftershock or some kind of rumble. No, because the girl that was with me,
You left her in the apartment.
dude. All she knows is that you jumped up and you ran out of you ran out of the house, and I heard the door slide, and that was, and then the next thing you know, everything shook. She was trapped in there because there was a closet door that trapped her in the hallway. So when I got back in the place, me and a friend had to try to pry the door open because she couldn't get out. But I ran out of that place before the earthquake actually happened.
How weird.
Yeah.
You got good instincts.
I don't know what the hell that was.
It has to be because
I don't even like telling that story because it sounds like bullshit. Because it really happened that way. Because then I talked to the guard. I'm like, hey, when did the lights go out? Oh, it shook and the lights went out. I'm like, I'm watching that happen.
So you felt it happen before it happened.
Some kind of weird way.
Well, I bet humans have that. Animals definitely have that. They talk about Thailand, how they had that tsunami and all the animals ran up to the highest point of the island. They all just took off. It's like they just knew instinctively.
I don't know. Nothing like that has ever happened afterwards. But I got to say, I've been lucky over the years.
Yeah, but you're a dude who's tuned in. You're tuned into your body. You're tuned into your environment. You're not going to get caught slipping. Like, you probably felt something and your spidey sense went off.
Yeah, I kind of have been like that growing up. Like, I've been on my own since I was 14. Been through crazy shit that you normally would see on movies.
And that's the type of shit that gives you those kind of instincts.
But yeah, and I was always the one that said, hey, let's leave. Let's get out of here. And then, hey, man, there was a shootout that just happened right after you left. Or I could detect, like, the predators. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I grew up kind of that way.
Right.
Because you have
with nobody looking
survive
out
on
for
that.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody was looking out for you. You got to look out for yourself.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was like always the junior of the group a lot of times because, like I said, I've been on my own since I was 14. I haven't grown an inch since I was 13, 14. I looked like a grown ass man, right? I was fighting in tournaments at 15 against grown men, like fighting heavyweight at that time. But I was always hanging with older people, kind of like I got away with kind of living as an adult early on because, like,
Did you work?
Yeah, well, I was teaching a karate class. What was happening? See, I used to hang out at this community center in the hood. At this time, I moved from Brooklyn to Bridgeport, Connecticut. Right.
Bridgeport's a tough neighborhood.
Yeah. It was
A lot of people don't know.
Yeah, we had the top murder rate per capita, man. Like
Bridgeport's rough.
Oh yeah. So I was constantly. I mean, there's a community center that was like my haven, and I would go practice with me and my other karate nuts, and so I'd be in the paper for winning heavyweight, competitions or whatever. And so the people that was running the community center said, why don't you teach a class? They thought I was an adult.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And so I was teaching like kind of like just under the table. I was getting paid under the table, basically. But I had like close to 200 students early on, like when I'm 15, 16.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, so, it was kind of a trip, which is one of the reasons why I was a father at 15. Because I had one of my students' older sister, was like had a crush on her on his instructor, but I was kind of living the life of a grown up, like early on, and so there's a faction of people in Bridgeport who think I'm Satan, I guess, because they think that I'm probably in my 70s now.
You're a vampire.
Right. Yeah, so there's some people I had to admit, like, no, I wasn't the age you thought I was back then.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, so yeah, one of the things I'm really grateful for is growing up that early and having to, use my instincts. And being that, street fighting and fighting was like my favorite thing to do, actually. And so when I got into the martial arts deeper and everything else, I really dug into it and wanted to learn style after style and this, everything. I was just a martial art nerd for it. But I also liked the realistic portion of it, even though I was doing other styles like wushu and everything else. But it was actually my haven.
Somewhere Eddie Bravo has to find this video. There's a video of us working out together at Legends, where we were talking about hopping sidekicks and different types of sidekicks. And you there was a bag that we had that had a shitty chain, but regardless, you threw a hopping sidekick on that chain, and the chain snapped and went flying. The bag went flying, and Eddie Bravo was like, "What the fuck?" It's a funny video, man.
Right? Yeah.
I know Eddie has it somewhere. I'll text him after this and try to see if he can put it up on his Instagram or something. If he can find it.
Yeah, back then, man, we were training when it wasn't even popular. I used to see you in the gym all the time.
Yeah.
All the time, man. And you were, just think about this. Do you know it was 29 years ago, the last time you interviewed me?
Yeah, that's right.
29 years ago.
That Bob Costa show. He took a week off, and I guest hosted it for a week. Yeah.
And at that time, you were already training with Maurice Smith.
Yes. Maurice was one of the guests.
Right. You were training, because I ended up training with Maurice Smith, every time I go to Seattle. We trained together. So, we're like part of this like kind of karate, martial art nerd culture.
Yeah.
When it wasn't even popular.
No.
But I used to see you all the time. You and doing jujitsu, Carl Parisian and all these guys at Legends. Where was another place? There was Legends, and there was another place.
The Bomb Squad.
Yes.
The Bomb Squad was the first place that Eddie taught at, and then that place closed down. Then we went to Legends. And then we moved to the other Legends that was like in more East LA. And then Eddie started opening up his own place in downtown.
Right. Yeah, and that's where I would train with Josh Barnett at that place. Quite a bit. Yeah, man.
The old days.
Yes, man. Yeah. And who would be coming through the gym? Because I was training Bob Sapp at one time, and then that's how I got Frankie Lyles connected into that.
Wow.
That whole thing. And so
I remember Frankie.
Yeah.
Frankie used to be at the Bomb Squad first.
Right. Yeah. Frankie was like my best friend in the world, and he was, he's super middleweight champion of the world. That's who got me deeply into boxing. And so I would always be at his training camps, and I got to train with like Tommy Hearns and all these amazing people like Sugar Ray and all these guys, man.
Frankie's a great boxing coach.
Yeah.
He's one of the most technical guys I've ever worked with. Like, he analyzes every aspect of your jab. He's pulling in your elbow.
Oh, yeah.
He's tightening this. He's moving you here. He's like he's showing all the like various basic little tiny details that make all the difference in the world.
Yeah, man. That he was my personal boxing coach. A lot of I would train with him. Joe Goosen early on, but Frankie, I mean, we really kind of combined a lot of things, because I started kind of teaching him things with the jab, like the untelegraphed type of stuff, and he started applying that, and he would bring me into stuff and have me show people like Sugar Ray. Like, oh, Mike, explain this jab. And I'm like, what? I'm explaining this to Sugar Ray? This feels ridiculous, right? But it was like this combination, because like, I don't know, I'm very analytical, and I love technique, and so I would just try to break things down, and my whole thing was always to pressure test things, So if I could develop a tool or a skill, and you can't stop it even if I tell you what I'm doing, then it's a really good technique. Then it's legit.
The thing about no telegraph at all it's so much more effective than a harder strike with a telegraph.
Oh God, yeah.
Because it lands.
Yeah.
But it's so difficult to teach people that because everybody wants to hit everybody as hard as they can.
Yeah.
Especially if you have power, your instinct is to load up on everything. I remember I first saw you teaching that to Kimbo Slice.
Oh yeah.
You were on a movie set.
Yeah, because Kimbo, oh man, what a great guy, man.
What
What's
a great
that
guy
What
he
a
was.
wonderful guy. So that's one thing about fighting. You can't hide your nature. You know what I mean? People see who you are, and he was a wonderful human being. But like a lot of people, almost like street basketball, as opposed to professional. You miss out on certain techniques that you need when you're trying to step up.
Right.
And so Kimbo, he would, like a lot of people, he would kind of telegraph. And so when we were shooting the movie, and we had a cameraman that did not really know how to shoot stuff, so I just had to do everything on screen. And so I just wanted to make everything very realistic. And so Kimbo had this rubber knife, and I was like, try your best to touch me with the rubber knife. And so he would try, but as soon as he would move, there'd be a little bit of an indication that I'd see, and then I throw the punch, and it would go really close to him, and I'd have him react to that. But he was going, wait a minute, how are you hitting me before I can get this knife out? And then I told him, I'll show you what that is later, because kind of like, not to be real nerdish about it, but like why are like 50 and 60-year-old trainers meeting people's hands, like a 20-year-old guy's or contender's hands, like this? You see the person with the pad moving just as much as the other guy, because there's an indication. They do this beforehand. They're always kind of flexing and going in reverse before they go forward. So just for over years, I wouldn't do that, and I would exploit that, So it's kind of like a cheat code that I'm like, hell, what the hell am I going to do with it? I'm an actor. So my thing is, just like yourself, when I see you, with George St. Pierre and how we are all always in the gym, we're kind of collaborating. We're it's about just getting better, not no ego or anything else like that. It's just like, hey man, we're like kind of like jamming on technique and getting better.
Well, especially if you run into someone who has a different style than you. Because there's always something in different styles that you could take out of it.
Absolutely.
There's always something. And we're seeing that now. There's all these different martial artists that are entering into MMA that have these different techniques that people haven't seen before. And there's a lot of them that people dismiss that you're finding are very effective. Especially if you don't know how to do them. You don't know what they are. So you have like a database in your mind of movements. Like, I'm sure you see when a guy's loading up on a spin.
Oh yeah,
everybody sees that. But if you don't know that, you don't see it, right?
And if you are loading up, then you're not gonna capitalize on it,
right?
Because you don't, you're taking there's a millisecond that you're taking because your movement is not efficient.
This episode is brought to you by Threat Locker. Here's the truth. Reacting to cyber attacks isn't enough. You need control from the start. That's where Threat Locker comes in. With zero trust, you only allow what you need, blocking everything else by default. You're in control. What runs, when, where, and how. Ransomware, zero-day exploits, block them before they can execute. And now with AI now increasing the speed and volume of attacks, a fast response isn't fast enough. Visit threatlocker.com/JRE to learn more. There's a move that still to this day people aren't doing effectively when someone loads up, because you can see the load up, and it's just a jam. It's just lifting your foot up and put it on the hips. And it's super effective in Taekwondo because everybody's fast. Everybody's like trying to do that technique. But that jam of just lifting your foot up and just not trying to hit them hard, just putting that foot on the hip, it fucks people up. And I don't see anybody using that right now.
I tell you, man, as in life, there's always something that you can gain from people want to. I don't know. People are in their own egos a lot of times, but like even wushu, me it's hard as hell for me doing wushu against guys half my size. It's not against, but it's a performance thing.
Right.
But if I can do all of it, can go to these very hard techniques of like, I got to get down to the floor and I got to, and
Body mastery.
At my size.
Right.
Well, then I'm better. So if I want to kick you in the eyebrow, I can.
Right.
Because it's about, having my body do what my mind's telling it to.
Right.
And so, but of course, people want to dismiss it because, that ain't real. You can't use it. Yeah, good. Yeah. Just like ballet is hard as hell. You can't use that either. But any heavyweight who put themselves through ballet would be a better fighter.
100%. Look at Lomachenko.
Yeah.
His dad taught him Ukrainian dance. Lomachenko's dad pulled him out of boxing for 2 years when he was young.
Yeah.
And said, you're just going to do Ukrainian dance.
Yeah.
He's like, what the fuck am I doing? But look at that guy's footwork.
Exactly. And so it's just that, as in life, man, I don't look at anything from one group and just discard any other stuff.
I used to when I was young.
Yeah.
When I was young, I was pretty arrogant about certain things. I thought forms were stupid. All I wanted to do was spar and hit the bag.
Yeah.
But then as I got older, I realized, there's a lot of wisdom in all this shit.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's, like I say, I try to apply that to life, period. I never look at anything from one perspective. I mean, I grew up in the hood, and my favorite band is freaking, the Eagles.
Really?
And yeah, I mean, like, and I'm listening to Jody Mitchell and all, and people are like, "What are you doing? Listen," I'm like, "What the fuck? This is my life, man. Fuck you. Like, do you hear these lyrics? You hear Jody Mitchell's lyrics, man? What the fuck? That's all for me too. I mean, I'm just as passionate about Aerosmith as I am about the Isley Brothers. But I've never looked at life as I have to think in this parameter. I've got to be marginalized. That's just, man, come on. That's such a waste of life.
It is.
It's all for you, man. So
I agree.
With the martial arts and everything else, I look at every martial art, just like everything else. Everything has something to contribute.
Yeah.
Just like all people have something to contribute. Even an idiot, you can learn from an idiot.
You can.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
A lot of idiots say wise things occasionally.
Yeah, because everybody's going to have a quotient of legitimacy. Maybe it may be 20% and they don't see the 80%.
Right.
But until you acknowledge that 20%, they're not going to hear you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's the thing. It's like, man, we're on this planet, and one of the things I don't envy a whole lot of people, but I do envy you. Because you get to expand your world. You talk to so many interesting people, and what a great thing. What a great thing to just have all these type of perspectives and all that coming through. And I got to say, man, I'm super proud of you because I know you as Joe from the gym, and look what you've done, man.
Thank you.
Man, it's like that's a shot in the arm because it's like people that you like and seeing them prosper, that's cool as shit. Like,
yeah, I've learned a lot, man, and I didn't expect to. When we first started doing this, it was just for fun. We just get together with our friends. You
knew what you wanted to do, man. You were pretty damn clear. Because do you remember this? You remember me coming to I think it was the Ice House
in Pasadena?
Yeah. No. Oh shoot, it wasn't Ice House. It was in Orange County. I came
Comedy
to see
Magic Club, maybe.
I came to see you perform, and I offered you the role in Blood and Bone. Do you remember that at all?
I do. Yeah, I do now. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because Blood and Bone, which is like actually Sony's most successful non-theatrical, that was basically a kind of a reimagining of Hard Times with Charles Bronson and James Coburn.
Great movie.
Yes, well, that role was basically that I was offering you was the James Coburn role, right? But you was dead set. And you said, I don't want to do this acting stuff. I want to focus on what your interest, which was you stand up and you're getting together. I know you and Eddie were doing like kind of the early podcast type of stuff and whatever. And I'm like, man, you really kind of knew what you wanted to do.
Well, the thing about acting is, I admire it, especially good acting.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot of time out of your day.
Yeah.
It's a 16-hour day. It's a long day, and it will take away from other things you do.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
saw that with a lot of comics that they started doing acting, and it would take away from their act because they really couldn't go and do sets every night. They couldn't really polish their material. You could see stuff getting a little clunkier. And it's just you gotta focus. You gotta find the things you enjoy and focus on them.
Yeah, that's why I say I'm so proud of being there and seeing what you did. You being a part of the UFC when it was nothing promised. You know what I mean? And
Not only was it not promised, man,
Yeah.
people looked at you like you were doing like snuff films or something.
Exactly.
They looked at like I remember the
Yeah.
early days, man. Dana White always says this. People would talk to you like you were doing porn or something.
right.
Like I was on News Radio, the sitcom on NBC, and I was doing commentary where I was doing post-fight interviews for the UFC.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Why are you doing this? Why are you flying to Alabama and doing cage fights?"
See, this is what good movies are made of shit like this. You know, and somebody just out of their spirit doing what they want to do with no promise of anything and then accomplishing something. So, you know, kudos, man.
Oh, thank you.
Seriously, man.
Well, for me, and I'm sure for you as well, when we were young, there was always a question, what is the best style? Is it Kyokushin? Is it Judo? Is it Kung Fu? What is it? What's the best style? And no one really knew.
No.
I mean, Benny the Jet fought in a bunch of those no-rules fights early on, but they never really took off. There wasn't a lot of those. You know,
Yeah.
and Benny was obviously a very special fighter.
Oh, yeah.
But...
he was one of my teachers, too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I trained at his gym. That was he was on the podcast with Blinky Rodriguez.
Right,
and him came
right,
on
yeah.
recently, and I told them, I said, when I came to LA, there was two places I had to go. I had to go to the Comedy Store, and I had to go to the Jet Center. I had to go to the Jet Center,
yeah.
and I was there in '94, right before it went under, because the earthquake damaged their roof.
Exactly.
And so when the
On
rainy
Friar
season
Street,
came,
right? It was on Friar Street.
Yep. And
right
Van
down
Nuys.
from the Goosens.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right down.
Yeah.
And that was an honor, man, to be able to train in that gym. That was incredible. It was an incredible place.
Oh yeah. I used to be there.
Yeah.
Man. It's, those are some great times because, I mean, I connect with Benny because when I was in Bridgeport, my instructor Manny Malisi went to California and started training with Benny.
Oh wow.
There early on, so he put that on the map about coming, to the Mecca and training with Benny.
It was the Mecca.
Yeah.
For kickboxing, especially in the 90s, that was the Mecca. You had to go to the Jet Center. Everybody talked about the Jet Center.
Yeah, man, that was classic.
We were always wondering, like, what is the style? What's the best style? And then the UFC came along, and I'm like, oh my God, they did it. They did it. They figured it out. They put it all together. And for a while, it was jiu-jitsu because nobody understood jiu-jitsu, and Hoist Gracie was just running shit.
Well, you know how that was kind of set up a little bit.
It was a little set up,
yeah.
But I mean, look, he had some challenges. Like Ken Shamrock was a beast.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know? He had some really good fighters he was
Yeah.
facing against. Kimbo Slice. I mean, excuse me, not Kimbo Slice.
Not chemo.
Chemo. Sorry.
Well, yeah.
Chemo was fucking huge.
He was
man.
a big dude, but he didn't really. Well,
It was a
they were-
100-pound advantage.
Yeah.
He had
They
100
were-
pounds over Hoist.
The Gracies were smart.
They
were
were.
very smart at that time, knowing the right people to kind of pick at that time because there was some killers out there.
There were some killers
yeah,
out there.
yeah.
Yeah, they definitely set it up, especially the early ones. But it's like, it was good for us to see a guy like Hoist who wasn't jacked. He was
Exactly,
a slender guy who only weighed 175 pounds, and he was strangling everybody, and armbarring everybody. It was wild to see when he beat Dan Severn. Dan Severn was 260 pounds, and Hoist tapped him off his back with a triangle.
Man, what a story! That put
Jiu-jitsu on the map.
On the map, big time. But one thing that always broke my heart is people never knew about Hickson.
Right.
Oh my God!
I know
that dude.
Yeah.
That cat was like I always consider him like pound for pound the best because he had this not only jiu-jitsu skills but just his concentration.
Yeah.
And he was almost like hypnotic.
Right.
You know what I mean? And just no waste of energy.
None.
Just unbelievable. What an amazing person to watch. I would encourage anybody to pull up his fights.
Well,
Talk
here's
about
another great
David versus
example.
Goliath stuff.
Oh, yeah. Another
Yeah.
great example of cross-training, too, because Hickson got really into yoga. And everybody's like, what the fuck are you doing yoga?
Oh, yeah.
Yoga's for girls, right? Hickson got really into yoga and got super flexible and really good at controlling his breathing.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And never got tired.
Yeah, you saw him in the Hulk? Did you
Oh,
see him
yeah,
that scene
with
in the
Ed
Hulk?
Norton, yeah.
Yeah, man. It's something, man. That's talk about a legend.
Oh, real legend.
Yeah, man.
Well, Hickson, there's a video of him, and he did this multiple times, where he would go to these gyms and he would teach a seminar, like a long seminar, and then roll with all the black belts and just tap them one after the other. World champions. Guys who just didn't understand what was going on. Like, how is this happening?
Oh, yeah.
Like Paulo Filho, when he was a WEC world champion, and he had won the Mundials, I believe. He'd won multiple jiu-jitsu championships. And he trained with Hickson, and he's like, man, it's true. He goes, I can't believe it. He goes, that guy treated me like I didn't even belong in there. It was crazy. And Hickson, by that time, was probably like 40.
Yeah.
And he's still just dominating guys on the mat and effortless. It wasn't strength. It was just pure technique and movement.
Basics and just a mastering of basics.
Basics. It was like there's no barambolos and no X guard, nothing crazy. It's everything he did is like jiu-jitsu 101, but to a masterful degree.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
And telling people that, because everybody knows Hoist, and I'm like, you guys don't know who his big brother is.
He would openly say that my brother is 10 times better than me.
Right, yeah. So, that really put, and I love jiu-jitsu because it's held up the tradition that martial arts, so much of karate lost because it became a business. And people would just, put their time in and pay for their black belts.
Right.
And it just watered it down.
Right.
And all these people running around saying that they're master this and, grand whatever and all these made up things. And it's like, oh yeah, the guy's a master in an Asian martial art. That's a English word.
Right.
You know what I mean? How did master sneak its way into a but anyway, male ego,
the thing about martial arts other than jiu-jitsu is when you're sparring, it's very controlled. Like a lot of karate sparring is very controlled. A lot of taekwondo sparring is very controlled.
Yeah.
But in jiu-jitsu, the beautiful thing about grappling is how good everybody is because they all spar.
Yeah.
They're all rolling with each other, and they're essentially going full blast until the tap.
Yeah.
And so there's no hiding. There's no hiding your skill.
Yeah, I love what Eddie Bravo used to say. Basically, when you won, I killed you.
Yeah, yeah.
I just killed you.
Yeah.
So that's like, wow, that's a trip because it's like, it actually works out that way.
Oh, yeah. If he gets you in a triangle and you tap, it's because you were about to go to sleep.
Yes.
And once you're asleep, you can just stomp your head into a pancake.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah, just hold on to that triangle and then you never wake up.
Yeah, what a humbling thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very humbling. Yeah. And what's really humbling is how quickly someone could do it to you when you don't know what you're doing. Like that was shocking to me because I had all this martial arts experience and I first started training. I was like, what's someone going to do to me? I wrestled in high school. I'm strong. I'm fast. I know how to fight.
Yeah.
I just got manhandled over and over and over again. I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, see that, but kudos because a lot of people because of if you got an egotistical thing going. And you get that your little I don't know your comfort because you got your black belt and all that kind of stuff. That means jack nothing. To everybody I know who continues and really to learn real fighting. Knows when you had a boxer beat the hell out you and you go, oh wait, there's a lot of this stuff I got to toss out the window.
Yeah.
And because I never forget like times where like. A wrestler gets to me or a boxer like pieces me up like early on. I'm like, no, I got to learn this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I went through several of those. I went through one of them in high school because I had a friend in high school There was a wrestler, and
Yeah.
I didn't think anything of wrestling. I'm like, that's not even a martial art. And then we wrestled on the grass one day, and he just took me down at will. And
Yeah.
I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like he was pinning me down. I couldn't move. I couldn't get up. I'm like, this is stunning.
Right,
I
yeah.
thought I'm strong.
Yes.
I thought I could move. I thought I'll be able to get out of the way. No, I had no chance.
Yeah.
And he wasn't even a great wrestler. He was just a decent wrestler. And
Yeah.
he just humbled me over and over and over again. So then I started wrestling. And then when I got into Taekwondo, I thought I'm really good at Taekwondo. I was competing on a national level. I won the state championships 4 years in a row. I was fucking people up. And then I remember the first time I boxed with a really good amateur boxer. I was like, oh, Lord. And this kid was like 18 years old. And
Yeah.
I was at the gym. And he went on, his name's Dana Rosenblatt. He went on to become New England middleweight champion. He beat Vinny Pazienza.
Oh, shit,
He
okay.
beat Howard Davis Jr. as a professional. He was a really good boxer.
Wow, yeah, he had to be.
But he was kickboxing at the time, and I was gonna get into kickboxing, and so I was sparring with him. But when I was boxing with him, I was just getting lit up. I was like, oh, and then also when we were kickboxing, the moment he got close to me, I was in trouble.
Right.
I was like, oh no, like Taekwondo had too many flaws.
Exactly,
The hand
yeah.
techniques. So I had gone through that, and so then I thought, okay, well now I understand kickboxing. Then I met a dude who went to Thailand a bunch of times and was training Muay Thai and fighting over there. And then I started learning leg kicks. I'm like, well, oh, good Lord. Now all they have to do is
Yeah.
kick my legs? I didn't even think of that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then I started really paying attention to WKA fights, like
Yeah.
the old Dennis Alexio
Yep,
days with
yep,
Don the
yep.
Dragon Wilson. And I was
Yep.
like, leg kicks are everything. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, well now I got a solid foundation. I understand how to fight. And then I started getting into
Jiu-jitsu.
jiu-jitsu. Like, oh no, back to square one.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
getting raped. I was just getting mauled on the mats. I was like, this is but I'd been through that so many times and restarted so many
Yeah,
times. I was
yeah.
like, well, it's time to learn this now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is everything has something to teach you.
Yeah.
And you know, even though there's a martial art, there's a fantasy world, which is I look at it as hilarious. You know, there's this, you know, I don't know. There's sometimes I would say it like this, like with martial arts, is the Dunning-Kruger
Yeah,
effect
yeah.
in the largest way possible, because everybody out there has an opinion of martial arts, though very few people really know what it is. You know, they want to look at, you know, the movies and everything, and they really want to believe that. They want to believe that this guy who, you know, kicks in the air and all that kind of stuff will be able to beat a champion. And in a way, hey, I benefit from that to some degree because they think that about me. But, you know, I mean, even though I'm comfortable fighting and I just love, you know, fighting against anybody, you know, but
Well, you've had actual competition experience, like a lot of competition experience.
but my best experience is with like I got the chance to train against champions at their place. You know, when they're at their best. And it's not an ego thing. It's just like I love to be able to test myself. And I mean, because I'm my biggest competition. And so that whole thing about just what the bow means to me is like, thank you for making me better.
Right.
By providing me an obstacle. And the higher the better the person, the better I can become.
100%.
And so I loved it. So for years I'm in there with Gokhan Saki and, you know, Maurice Smiths and, you know, you name it. I consider myself one of the luckiest like martial artists on the planet because I get to train with so many people. Sometimes, you know, at my house and, you know, I've got all these, you know, former champions, you know, training and, you know, Rampage when he was champion, I go to his place and, you know, and honestly, like the things I brag about is when I get humbled, you know, because that's when I learn something.
For sure.
My philosophy is I love to be wrong because every time I'm wrong, I learn something.
Absolutely.
And so like some of the best times for me is like, I know when I was, you know, Michael Bisping was getting ready for to fight George St. Pierre, and we were in Thailand. I was like, yeah, you know, let's mix it up. Let's.
What were you doing in Thailand?
We were doing a movie out there.
Oh, wow.
But he had to train. He was getting ready for the George St. Pierre fight, and so I was like, yeah, let's do some rounds or whatever. And I got so winded the second round. I'm like, dude, just whoop my ass. I feel so like I'm embarrassed. I should
Bisping
never.
was a cardio machine.
Yes, he was.
He was a cardio machine.
I didn't expect that because we spent all day on a yacht the day before, and he was drinking nonstop. I'm a non-drinker, right? I'm like, this guy's gonna, I'm gonna probably take it easy on him today.
He is one of the toughest motherfuckers that ever fought in the sport.
I swear.
And this is what I say about him. No matter what you think about watching his fights, you have to understand, not only did he accomplish so much, he accomplished a lot of it with one eye. One
Yes.
fucking eye. He had
Yes.
11 fights in the UFC with a winning record with one eye.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yes. Yeah, that's, man.
He would memorize the eye chart so that when they covered his eye, he could sight it out like he could read it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
How fucking crazy is that?
He's got a hell of a personal story too. I was trying to encourage him to get that made. Honestly, man, I really look at these UFC fighters and the MMA guys as our modern day heroes. They're our gladiators, and so whenever I have a chance, man, I always like to put them in movies and try to expose them to another kind of way of getting paid.
Yeah.
Especially afterwards, because it breaks my heart that they're heroes and then they get discarded sometimes. Not by the union that they're with, but just by the fans. They're so fickle sometimes.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
the casuals, the people that aren't really martial artists.
Right. Yeah. So
they dismiss a guy when they lose a few.
I just did my third movie with Cowboy Cerrone. We just finished a little over a week ago.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's doing really good, man.
I love that dude.
Yeah, me too.
That's a guy that could really legitimately transition to become a movie star.
Yes, and he's got a lot more confidence. This is, like I said, the third movie. He did a Western with me, Outlaw Johnny Black. I wrote and directed it, but I had Cowboy, I had Randy Couture in it.
Oh, wow.
And Josh Barnett.
Randy's done an amazing job of transitioning.
Oh,
The
absolutely.
Expendables, and he's great at it. He
Yeah.
He has a great personality, just
Absolutely.
very calm. I remember one time he was fighting Tim Sylvia for the heavyweight title, and he came out there, he had a smile on his face, he looked over at me and he winked. I'm like, how is this motherfucker so relaxed
Yeah.
before he's fight? But he had an amazing perspective. He's he said to me, the people who love you will love you whether you win or lose. And he said, what's the worst thing that can happen? You lose? He goes, you've lost before.
Yeah.
It's no big deal.
Yeah, remember him spanking Tito?
Yeah, he got on top of him, spanking him when he had him down.
Yeah,
Randy
man,
was an animal.
Yeah, well, he had that heart attack while he was shooting my movie.
That's crazy.
And this came back to set like nothing.
How did he have a fucking heart attack?
I don't remember how exactly it was, and I think he drove himself to the hospital. Yeah, man, talk about an American hero, man. I mean,
I was there for his first fight.
really?
Yeah, 1997. Yeah, I was there for his very first fight.
Oh shoot!
He fought
Okay.
this huge jack dude, took him down, mounted him, beat the shit out of him. It was wild. It was like that was the time where wrestlers had first started cracking this code.
Right.
There was this code of there was a lot of people that thought like jiu-jitsu was the only way, and then the elite wrestlers got in there.
Oh, God,
the Mark Kerrs, the Mark Colemans, and then Randy. A bunch of these guys got in there, and then they
Yeah.
realized like if a guy can just take you down and beat the fuck out of you from the top, there's not a whole lot you could do about it.
Right.
And then we realized, like, boy, that is that's the true cornerstone of martial arts.
Yeah.
The ability to take a guy down.
My goodness, I mean, what's harder than wrestling? I don't think there's
The
anything.
hardest sport in the world.
Yeah.
The hardest sport in the world, and the best sport in the world to get your kids into at a young age, because the discipline and the mental toughness that they get will carry them through for the rest of their life.
Yep, tenacity, just the stick-to-itiveness, whatever you want
yeah.
to call it. Yeah, that's just like
Even high school wrestling. I remember wrestling in high school, and I had already done martial arts, but I was like, I'd never trained that hard. I was like, I can't believe. And then it carried me over into my Taekwondo career because I realized, like, oh, I'm leaving a lot on the table. Like, I'm not training like these guys are.
Right, yeah,
so I
yeah.
started running. I started adding all these things to my training that I wasn't doing before. I started doing a lot more calisthenics, a lot more different things. So, like, I'm leaving something on the table because we were not training in the gym, and we were sparring hard. We were doing
Yeah.
hard rounds. You'd get tired, but it was not the same as what we were doing in wrestling.
yeah.
No one trains harder than
That
wrestlers.
anaerobic stuff, man. That's man. I got the wrestling bug when I was a senior in high school, and the football coach was a wrestler in college, and he challenged me. I think we did this 2 years in a row, in my junior year and my senior year. At the end of the year, we'd wrestle. We'd just go like, he and I. Yeah, I was, like I said, I was big for my age.
Were
or
you
whatever.
playing football?
I was for a very short time, but I ended up I wasn't designed for
Probably
team
was-
sports.
Me neither.
I ended up beating up the football coach.
oh, no.
Yeah, I had the worst temper than anybody I'd ever seen. I mean, I used to go into fits of rage. I was so angry early on, man. It's like the Hulk is like, Mike, you should chill out a little bit, man. It's like I was just,
It's probably from being on your own at 14.
yeah, what it is like I was growing up in a very harsh environment, and I didn't know I was an artist. I didn't know I was a writer, director, whatever. You didn't see those growing up where I am.
Right.
And so when you're a sensitive kid, man, what you do is you build armor. Like, I was to play Mike Tyson later on, and I understood him quite well. And if you're sensitive, anything that's precious, you put it in, you lock it in a safe, and you become the safe. And it's like, I grew up. My brothers were completely different. They're engineers, so things rolled off their back. But like for me, I was just volatile, and luckily I had martial arts to kind of put my focus into. But like I said, like I was to play Mike Tyson, I understood him a great deal, and even though you take the moniker of this monster, it's only to hide what's really deep inside. And that's why you would see, if anybody's going to go into tears in front of a million people, it's people like Mike Tyson. And you go, how does that fit in the same person?
Right.
And so that's what I was growing up. And, I don't know if you know this, but I was a school teacher before I was an actor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I taught EMD. I was a special ed teacher. So I focused on a lot of kids who were very much like me. And I still do that. In a way, I consider that my real job. Whenever I'm off from work on a movie or whatever, I go into the inner cities. I go into community centers. I devote my time because there's nothing that I could do. There's no better spending of time than something like that, because I was luckily saved. I had just at the right times in my life, just different seeds planted. And so I'm confident that if those seeds were not planted, I would not be here. Because, like I say, I was been through some crazy stuff.
It's a classic story.
Yeah, bro, man. Like I tell you, like just little under 2 years ago, a buddy of mine, who's a close friend of mine, he got out of prison. He was in prison for almost like 30 years, and he found me on Facebook. And so when I went back east, we linked up, and I know a lot of people who have businesses and everything. I hooked him up, got him a job, and we were sitting over lunch. And in the middle of him telling me like the third or fourth story, like back in the glory days of us or whatever, while he was in the middle of this story, I was kind of getting myself set to kind of set him straight, because I don't know if you want to call this superstitious, but I won't lie. I refuse to lie to my friends. I won't lie by omission. So I was getting set to tell him, dude, man, you got to stop embellishing on these stories. Just because you were locked up and you made these stories sound bigger than life.
Right.
I get it, but that's not real. You gotta really kind of not do that. And in the middle of me thinking that, and I'm listening to him, I go, holy shit, he's telling the truth. I started remembering what he was telling me. And I'm like, now I'm finishing his sentences. Not only was that story true, but the other ones were true too. And dude, like I swear, every time I think about this, I got these goosebumps. And I realized, oh my God, how close I was to being where he was or just not being on this planet.
Right.
Like, I better devote my time into helping kids the way I was helped.
Yeah, don't pull that ladder up.
No, hell no. Hell no. Even if I'm taken out, I accept that. Even if I'm in some projects where I'm not supposed to be and I shouldn't have been, I accept that. Because, dude, I am abundantly lucky. It doesn't even fit on the radar how lucky I am. And I could remember a lot of these crazy stories, aside from the ones that he made me conjure back up. But man, I'm like, wow.
Well, that speaks to your character, that you had downplayed it all in your mind so much that you thought he was exaggerating.
I swept it under the rug.
Yeah.
Because
you're not that person anymore.
No, but there was so many events, things that I just call it on a Wednesday that I went through, that it's like, I don't know, like, I think I wouldn't trade it because I continue to be the happiest guy I know because of, I think, some of that.
Because you can appreciate the good times.
Oh my
now.
God, yeah. And I should be slapped if I complain about anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, what? And so, I just, I just know I'm so blessed. And what we do, what we're doing even right now, man, we're in the service industry, man. You're here to serve. In my opinion, that's what we're all here for. And, it's great that we get to serve and doing the things that we would like to do that inspired us.
That's definitely a lot of what we do. That's definitely a lot of it, right? You entertain, but I feel very blessed that I've been able to expose people to so many different ways of thinking, so much information, so many different human beings that have led completely different paths that can tell you about whatever discipline they're involved in, what they've learned, and what we're working on right now, and what you can learn about the human mind, the body, ancient history, fill in the blank, like whatever it is.
Yeah. And I see you do that over and over, and you in utmost honesty. I remember like when you had to kind of pull Shab aside and tell, as a friend, some things that are hard for people to, other friends to tell him, and like
that was real hard.
Yeah.
Well, that was real hard because I love that guy. He's a great person. He's a great human being. And I knew the path. I'd seen it too many times, but I hadn't seen it with someone I was that close with. I was like, you have to stop. Because not only that you're in the heavyweight division, so the knockouts are brutal, and you're going to get 3 or 4 more in the next couple of years, and then you're not going to recover from those.
But man, so many people, I hope they take a page out of that, because it's so non-manly, I feel, to just not say anything.
Right.
And allow somebody you love to go down the road. I mean, that might be detrimental for them.
Well, it was also Shab had another path. He was really good at podcasting. He's fun. He's a funny dude.
Right, yeah.
He's like, as a podcast, he's like, got a great personality. He's hilarious. He's silly. He's a big, giant, silly dude.
Yeah.
And like, we would have so much fun. And he was doing really well. And he was making more money doing that than he was fighting.
Yeah.
But his identity was so wrapped up in him being a top 10 UFC heavyweight.
Right.
He had beat world-class guys like Mirko Krokop,
yes, yeah.
and he was legit, man. But that time had passed.
Yeah.
And I saw that he was 1 foot in and 1 foot out. And as soon as the guy's 1 foot in, 1 foot out, you're going to run into some guy who has both feet in and is a fucking samurai. And then you're going to wake up on a stretcher.
Yeah.
And you're on the way to the hospital going, what happened? And you don't remember the fight. You don't remember nothing.
Yeah.
And then you don't know where your keys are. You forget people's names. You tell the same story over and over again.
Yeah.
And then you struggle to put sentences together. When you start seeing dudes with the
Nothing's
slur.
worth that, man.
Nothing's worth that.
No,
Because
yeah.
I mean, at the time he was only 35 years old or whatever he was. I'm like, man, you got another 45, 55 years of life. You can't do this. You
Yeah.
can't sacrifice all these years for glory that will never be achieved anyway because you're not on that path anymore.
Yeah, and it's not about what strangers say about you.
No.
It's about your friends, your family, people
Yeah.
who really love you.
It's just so
Yeah.
hard for people to abandon that identity.
Yes.
That's the hardest thing with fighters is to
Yeah.
abandon that identity. Mm-hmm. We've seen so many guys, even the greats, they come back and they shouldn't, and you see it, and you see them get humiliated, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, and when it comes down to it, these people, they don't love you, man. Like a lot of, it's
They love you as the image.
yeah, they live vicariously through you. I remember one time I was in a fight in Boston, and I remember when something completely changed. Usually, if anybody would, because I did any kind of thing, I would do kickboxing or this tournament. I just loved my best. I think the thing I did best in the world was fighting. I always had these cheat codes in a way, and I enjoyed the chess match of it. And anybody who was against me, I don't care if you were my cousin or whatever, you were going to pay for all the angst that I've had in my life. But until there was this one time, I swear, I ducked a technique. I caught somebody with something that was kind of cool. And I just remember the audience just cheering. And in that moment, I was like, just angry. Kind of like, yo, this guy could really be messed up right now. You're cheering for me. You're living vicariously through me like I'm a pit bull or something.
Right.
And I got angry at the audience. I fucking hated them. Whoa. And I said, because if I was down on the ground, you'd be cheering for the person that put me down. And something just snapped. And I go, no, this is not enough for me. This is not what I want to do. And just something snapped. And I much rather be skillful, test myself in a skillful way. And I much rather not try to peel your head off, but show I could, as opposed to, that triumph of dominating you.
Right.
It was nothing for me anymore in that. And just something just rubbed me the wrong way. And anytime I would do any kind of competition, it was for me and it wasn't for an audience. Just something soured. I always thought at one time I'm going to be called out, and I thought, I'll rise to that occasion if that happens. And, kind of like, remember the thing with you and Wesley? Which would have been, oh my God, that would have been terrible. But, but I always thought, hey, well, maybe, something.
I think Wesley just needed money. I mean, that was when he was.
I don't think he'd ever be. I don't think that was ever serious. But it's very much like I think
we were in negotiation for quite a while, man. We had lawyers involved.
Yeah, it's always easy to pull a plug on something like that. Just like John Claude's talking about fighting Jake Paul, right?
Is he talking about that right? He's 100 years old.
Yeah,
he weighs 50 pounds. He's 100 years old.
I'm like, come on, man. Come on.
Is he really talking about fighting Jake Paul?
I just saw something in the last couple of days. I'm like, okay.
I think Wesley was serious because I think they had hit him with that tax case. And he owed a lot of money to the government.
No, this is before that tax case.
No. It was in the middle of it.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. I know it was.
Huh.
Yeah. It was 2000, I want to say 5 or 6. It was in the middle of all that, and he was in trouble. It was serious, and he, obviously eventually wound up going to jail.
Yeah.
So they were going to set up a fight with him and Jean-Claude Van Damme. That was the first fight. But Campbell McLaren from the UFC was like, no one gives a shit about you fighting Jean-Claude Van Damme. You got to fight someone who's current. And so he said, let me contact Joe Rogan. He called me up and he said, "Would you be willing to fight Wesley Snipes?" And I was like, "What?" And I was like, "Come on, really?" I go, "What is this?" And so I said, "Let me think about it." I thought about it. I called him the next day. I said, "Let's fucking do it."
Really?
Yeah, I was training with Rob Kamen in the mornings, and then I was doing jiu-jitsu at night. I trained twice a day for 6 months.
Wow.
I was always tired. I was always tired. That's one thing that I realized, like, fuck, man, to be like, and I wasn't even a professional really, but it was training like a professional. It's like, I can't believe how tired I am all the time. But, you know, I think Wesley had never really had a fight. I don't think so. I think he was an accomplished martial artist. He had good technique.
I trained with Wesley's instructors. You know, Marcus Salgado was a good friend of mine, and also Lamar Thornton, who was Marcus Salgado's instructor. That's, I believe, that's the lineage I believe that he's through. But I mean, I've known Wesley since way before he was kind of Wesley.
I was a giant fan of Wesley too, which was also wild for me because I love Blade. Blade was like my favorite comic book when I was a kid.
Yeah. I didn't think they were serious about. I couldn't imagine why would Wesley. I always thought it was not real.
I think Wesley thought that I was just a grappler, and think he knew that I was doing jiu-jitsu. I don't think he knew my background. And so like Wesley was talking to them saying, "Oh, he thinks he's going to be able to stop you from taking him down, and he's going to catch you with a knee while you're coming in to try to take him down." Like, I go, "Oh, he wants to stand up?"
Yeah.
I go, "I'm way better at that."
Yeah. I was wondering how that even occurred. I didn't think that was serious. I was like, okay.
It was serious. Yeah, it was serious. It went on for a long time. It was a lot of negotiation to the point where I even talked about it on the UFC broadcast once. I said, "Come on, Wesley, sign the contract. I'm getting bored training. Let's do this. Like, I have to do it now." I was like 35 or 36. I was like, "I don't have much time left. If we're going to do this, we have to do this now. Like, come on, let's go." And then he decided not to, and then I'm like, that's probably for the better.
Yeah, I knew Wesley for a while. I remember when he was first telling me about the being sovereign.
Yeah, that's where they got him with that sovereign citizen shit.
Yeah, and I was like,
I wish I was friends with him. I would have said, "Dude, they're gonna lock you up."
I'm super protective of my friends. I've always been that way. And with Wesley, I was always like, my thing is he used to have people around him that I'm like, you know, we have like little get-togethers at my house, whatever. I'm like, don't bring any of those motherfuckers, or it's gonna be a problem. You know, because there's people that just I felt like were hangers on and you know, that kind of a thing. And I was always like, "Yeah, man, are you good? And you know, are you staying healthy?" I've always been that way because the way I look at it, he's a big brother. If not for him, it may not be for me. You know, he gave me some good advice early on. He always encouraged me that if I have a movie that's overseas, get there. You know, show up in those overseas markets and let them know that you're down. You know. And I took that to heart, and that helped me out in my career a great deal. And so I look at it like that. I'll never say anything derogatory about him or whatever. So I mean, I just recently tried to reach out to him like a couple of days ago just to check in, man, because I wish him the best, and you know I want him to like really, you know, start kicking ass again.
I would love to see him return as Blade.
Yeah, that would be cool.
He could do it too.
Yeah.
An older Blade, he could do it.
Yeah.
Fuck, he was good in the original Blade.
Yeah.
That's the opening scene. That's one of the best scenes in any action movie of all time. When there's that vampire party and the sprinklers start spraying blood.
Yeah.
And they're about to kill that dude.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden Wesley shows up.
Yeah, man. What really gets on my nerves is that, you know, he saved Marvel, man. That movie saved Marvel. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah. That movie was a huge hit.
Even Stan Lee admits that. They were like in trouble until that movie.
Isn't that crazy? Because superhero movies are the biggest fucking movies in Hollywood right now.
Yeah.
I mean, when they have a big budget movie, superhero movies are like the only movie that you can throw hundreds of millions of dollars and be sure it's going to kill it in the box office.
Yeah.
Whether it's the Avengers or Spider-Man or Superman or whoever the fuck it is. That's the only kind of movie that Hollywood's like, yeah, okay, we'll throw $500 million at this one.
Yeah, and you know, it's. I'm not a big fan of those things. I know it's not. They didn't design it for people like me.
Right.
So it's for the fan base, and to me, it's like, they tend to meld into each other as far as I'm concerned.
They do.
Yeah,
They do.
yeah.
There's only so many times you could tell the stories. There's only so many,
Yeah.
But I still enjoy them. I still enjoy some of them. They're fun.
Yeah, I like when people are believable.
Right.
Believable.
Yeah, there's nothing believable about those movies.
Yeah, I like the actors that are like, have some quirkiness and some edge to them, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Maybe I'm being unfair because I really hadn't seen a lot. Maybe I owe it to myself to give some.
No, I think you got it. It's simple entertainment. It's a
Yeah.
silly release and escape. That's
Yeah.
all it is. It's not there's no great films that are superhero films.
Right, yeah, because sometimes I'm like, oh, yeah, she's 90 pounds and she just threw a guy. Okay,
Yeah.
let me
Like Charlie's Angels or
Yeah,
something.
I'm like, oh,
kicking
come
ass
on
and
now.
stilettos.
And it's like, anytime somebody lands in a 3-point stance and then looks up, I'm like, I just changed the channel.
Yeah.
I'm just like, stop. Just stop.
Yeah.
But people love those things. I'm like, that's cool.
I don't
That's
know
cool.
why they have so much appeal, especially in the American market.
Mm.
People, that is one of the only movies that you can make that's guaranteed to be huge.
Yeah, it's McDonald's, man. Mm-hmm. It's McDonald's. But
Right.
I remember when.
That's it.
Yeah, I remember when you had what was that, like the 300.
Mm-hmm.
That was like nobody knew anybody.
Right.
But that was just such a breath of fresh air because it looked like some badasses that were real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd like to see more of that kind of a thing. Like, not the star power thing, but just some motherfuckers that you believe.
Right.
You know what I mean? That would, that would attract me.
Also, the style of that movie was so unique because it blended fantasy with reality. It blended like comic
and history
book.
too.
Yeah.
Knock on wood. I got some things in the works.
Do you?
Yeah.
What are you
I got
working on?
Oh man, I've been blessed, man. I've got some really good movies coming out, and some things that I'm planning on doing. I'm getting to a place where I'm really shooting the things that I want, and I've been producing and all that stuff. So I have movies that have their body count, but also have a little bit of like something to say.
You know what I miss?
What's that?
Spawn.
Oh man,
Bro.
yeah, a lot of people. Yeah,
People forgot about Spawn. You don't hear about it anymore.
Right? Yeah, man.
That was fucking great.
Yeah, I had my man. You didn't. Most people didn't see the first adaptation of it. The first. Well, I saw a cut of the movie before it. I mean, at this time, it had like 71 special effects in it. But Bob Shea at the time, that was running New Line, liked that version. He just gave the director carte blanche to just add whatever he wanted. And the director was a special effects guy. So he started throwing special effects in there that was really killing the story, which kind of drove me up a wall because then, like, you didn't even see why my character wanted to get back. You didn't even see the life that I wanted to get back to because there was so much special effects. And even when I saw the final version, I'm like, what the hell is going on? People that knew Spawn, they were fine with it because they understood the character. But for me, it was like the story got all convoluted. But I mean, people love it. I think it was a thing for its time. But unfortunately, I saw a version of it that made you care about it.
I understand, but I cared about the one that I saw. And I felt like I don't understand how Spawn sort of escaped the zeitgeist. You don't ever hear about Spawn anymore. You know what I mean? Like there's all these superhero films, all these different things, but Spawn was unique and it was really good and dark. And
Yeah, I always said if they did another one, you should do it just like the comic book. Make it hard R or non-rated. Because, I mean, like to do a Spawn PG, like how we did PG-13, it's like, what do you want? You trying to go for a breakfast cereal? Like Spawn-O's or something? Like, come on, man, let's go hard like the cartoon, right?
See if you can find a clip from Spawn. Because I feel like no one talks about it anymore. It's kind of weird,
They damn
man.
sure talked to me about it.
Bro, it was good. What year was this?
97.
Wow.
Yeah.
They were fucking great, man.
Now stay sharp. The night is young.
Evil has a new enemy. Justice has a new weapon. And the world has a new hero.
The memories.
Bro, that was a fucking great movie, man. New Line Cinema presents.
Yeah.
That was a great movie. How many did you guys do?
One.
Just one.
Just one.
There was nothing else? Wasn't there something else, like a series?
It was a cartoon first.
That's right.
Yeah, it was a comic book, then it was a cartoon on HBO.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
Keith David was the voice of Spawn on that one.
Oh,
Yeah. Yep. And so, yeah.
But that was a big hit.
I think so.
It
It
was
made its money
successful.
back. Yeah.
I mean, I
But-
remember it was very popular. Like, everybody was talking about it. People got excited about it, especially people like me that liked the comic books.
Right.
They were very into it.
Yeah.
I was always surprised, but it's weird to me that even the comic book Spawn doesn't get brought up anymore.
Right. Yeah. Every now and then, like when I'm off doing a movie, whatever, I drive by comic book stores. I go in and I just start signing shit. Right. The Spawn stuff. So there's still stuff there.
Oh yeah,
You
there's
know,
always gonna be a hardcore fan base.
Yeah. So I mean, there's people there's still hardcore about that, and then Todd McFarlane has talked about doing another Spawn for the last 25 years.
It would be huge.
But the weird thing is, it's like, okay, I wish you all the best of luck, bro. But you created the comic book. When he's talking about doing another Spawn, I'm like, you haven't done a first one.
Like the comic book.
No, he's not a director. Like, it's just like Stan Lee hasn't directed a Marvel movie.
Right.
And Todd McFarlane is talking about doing another Spawn, but I'm like, well, that would be the first time a person that created a comic book directed and produced a movie that I know of, right? Because even though he talks about he's going to do one, and he had this concept that he talked to me about, and then he said he wanted to, I guess he wanted to use Jamie Foxx, and he talked about this concept that Spawn would be, you wouldn't see him, and it's like Jaws, he would never be around, but just people would get fucked up. All of a sudden, like a mist would come in, people are destroyed. I'm like, good luck with that. I don't know, but he's been talking about it for a while, and people say, "Oh man, I'm sad that you're not the next Spawn that they're using Jamie." I'm like, when is it going to happen? He's been saying that for a long time, but I'm going, hey, maybe somebody is going to give him that amount of money to do a movie when he's never directed anything before.
Right.
He hasn't directed anything before. He visited set a few times because he created a comic book. Directing a movie is something completely different. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all power to you if that's happening. But it's like, I wonder why people believe it.
That's a lot to bite off, especially a movie like that, which would probably be a large budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, but it's,
And then you're going to get the executives involved, and they're going to fuck with it because they always have to have their say.
yeah, man, it's a miracle that a movie gets done the way it's intended, period.
Yeah.
I'm like, a lot of times when a movie works, I go, how did some executive not fuck this movie up?
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm always like,
There's
that.
only a few guys that can get away with a movie where everybody just leaves them alone. There's
Yeah.
a few Tarantinos out there where
Yeah,
everybody just
yeah.
let them go. Just let them go.
Yeah.
Like if you tried to make Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and you weren't a successful director, you were just some guy with an idea, someone would come along and fuck that
Oh,
up.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Luckily, people are leaving me alone. I've been directing and doing my own thing. They go, okay, you got this. Okay, like I say, I'll give you the body count, but now if I could put stuff in it,
What is going on with Jamie Foxx doing Tyson? Because that's been rumored for a decade at least.
That's another thing. It's like weird that Jamie Foxx wants to do a Tyson and a Spawn, but it's like I don't take it personally. A very talented guy, but yeah, I think Jamie does a very good impression of Mike Tyson.
Yeah, but you got to gain like 100 pounds.
Right,
Like,
and then it's
Jamie's got to he's got to pack on that meat at 50.
But then
You know?
why? I just sit there and I go, why? When Tyson's life itself has been very, transparent,
Right.
and so you can see the real guy in documentary form and everything else. What story do you have to tell?
That's true.
I'm not trying to be a hater, but I'm like, I'm just curious.
The only thing that would be interesting is seeing like Jamie do it, seeing him pull like he pulled off Ray Charles, like seeing him pull it off. That would be the appeal of it, I think.
Right, but yeah, in my personal opinion, I don't think that's enough. You got to tell a story.
Right, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, you got. It's got to be some compelling story. People saw Titanic. You know how it's going to end, but he had to present a story.
Right.
There,
Well, Jamie is so versatile.
Yes.
There's very few guys that can do all the different things that he can do. He can sing, he can act, he could do stand up, and he could do all kinds of different characters, and he's so believable in so many different roles. You know what I watched the other day, which is a fucking great movie that I forgot was so great, is Collateral.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh my God!
No. When Jamie had Collateral and Ray, to me, there was you couldn't have had a better year.
Right, two completely different human beings.
Yes, absolutely. So
he became those people. He became Ray Charles.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as good as he can sing, him singing as Ray Charles was insane.
It's one of the best, performances ever.
Ever. Ever.
Yeah.
But so is Collateral.
Yeah.
Man, he really played that dude in Collateral. You believed it. And fucking Tom Cruise. Oh, my
dude,
God.
Tom Cruise really proved something to me in that damn movie. Because I would never think I would ever be scared of Tom freaking Cruise.
Right.
And how convincing he was.
He's a bad motherfucker.
Yes.
He is he's crazy as batshit, but he's a bad motherfucker.
He
brought
it in that
You
movie.
have to be that crazy to do all the stunts that guy does.
Yeah.
He's 60 years old. He's jumping off buildings and shit and breaking his ankle.
Yeah, just like
animal.
Johnny Depp. Like I'm like Johnny Depp when he did Black Mass. Mm-hmm. Like I'm like, oh, you had that in you?
Right.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And just like with Tom Cruise, I'm like, him having that character in him.
There's a scene in Collateral that tactical instructors play.
Yes.
The scene
the
when
double
they're-
tap. Like
yes.
He whips it back.
Yep.
Double tap.
He knocks the guy's gun out of the way,
Yep.
pulls it out,
Yep.
and it's so fast and
Yep.
so smooth. See if you can find that scene, Jamie. It's a scene where they're trying to take Tom Cruise's briefcase, and he's in an alleyway.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah, that I played that over and over myself.
The amount of times that he must have drilled that to get that, unholster the gun, pull it out, shoot the other dude so smooth, and the way he did it, so professional. I mean, it looks like a legit hitman.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that was that character. I mean, from start to
Terrifying.
finish, like to me, proved a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he embodied that guy.
And to know
Here it
that
is.
he's-
That my briefcase?
Is your briefcase? Yeah, it is. Why? You want it back?
How about your wallet?
What else you got for me? Huh?
Come on, son.
Yeah. I actually visited that set when they were shooting that. No, not that scene, but it was another day. And I remember it was weird because they were shooting something and they were shooting behind Tom Cruise's head. And they had 8 camera angles just behind his head. I'm like, and I'm looking at the video village where they made sure they had a choice of whatever perfect thing that they want. It was the craziest thing. I'm like, and I guess Michael Mann, he's known for like shooting a lot, but it was like 8 cameras that's just behind the dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, this is a whole nother like level. Yeah, it was crazy.
It's a great fucking movie. That
Yeah.
movie holds up.
Oh yeah, that's prime Jamie, man.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And the fact that he's got that much range, that he can do this nerdy dude who's terrified, doesn't know what the fuck is going on. He's just driving a car, and all of a sudden he has his hitman with him, and then he gets wrapped up in this whole thing.
Yeah, but as a fan, I want to see him do something else like that.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean?
Right,
like
right.
something like that requires what he can do. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of, that's one of the things. There's not a lot of things out there sometimes. So, he's been doing things that I think show, certain parts, but like to where he was going in Collateral and Ray, it'd be nice to see that stuff again.
It's got to be hard to find those roles, right? And when you find those roles, there's probably like 6 or 7 A-list dudes that they have like on a board somewhere, and they're trying to figure out who's the guy for this.
Yeah, but I believe
who's going to sell the most.
I believe you got to create your own stuff, man. Put it this way: nobody was going to write that Black Dynamite.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I had to, my thing is largely creating my own lane.
That was a fun movie, by the way.
Well, thanks, man.
Really
Thanks.
fun.
Thanks, man. So, yeah, man. So, I luckily, like I enjoyed writing. I was always looked at everything from. I was always fascinated about this industry, and I sold a lot of things as a writer, separate from the acting thing, and so just putting it all together is something that's like I really enjoy doing.
How do you dedicate your time when you're writing? Do you just like have an idea and say, okay, for the next X weeks, I'm going to sit down and dedicate myself to this?
Dude, it's all different. A lot of times I will see the entire movie. Like when I did Black Dynamite, dude, I was in China, going to set, and I was in Shanghai, and I was listening to James Brown's Superbad, and I just started thinking about, I'm laughing. I'm in the back of this car, and there's a driver wondering what the hell is going on with me. I'm seeing the whole goddamn movie, including a nunchuck fight scene with Richard Nixon, and I'm laughing, and I started jotting stuff down because it occurred to me, man. Like I remember one day I was thinking like, wow, man, like growing up we had Shaft and we had Superfly and the Mac and all that posters like that we idolized, and I'm going, those were pimps. There was something wrong with my childhood. Why am I? I'm like, what, the Mac? Like that's a hero? And so it made me really think about it. And I'm like, I'm looking at these movies, and like Jim Brown and Fred Williamson are like killing like 60 people, and it's okay. Right. Everybody's like this. They have a club, and then they got all these women and all this. And I'm like, this is actually hilarious. If I do a movie that depicted it exactly like it is, thinking about this, one of the biggest movies of that time was Three the Hard Way. I don't know if you remember that movie. Jim Brown, Fred Williamson, and Jim Kelly.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about Jim Kelly.
Three the Hard Way. What was it about? It had the 3 predominant blaxploitation stars, right? And the movie was about an evil Dr. Feather who had these liters of liquid that he was going to put in the water systems of L.A., Chicago, and New York that were going to kill all the black people. It's not a comedy.
That's the movie?
It's not a comedy. It was going to give sickle cell anemia to all the black people. Now, the conspiratorial thing. I've been a black man for a long time, and it is really funny because in the community, conspiracy is a big thing, right? So it like that whole conspiratorial thing. Oh, they trying to get you. That kind of a thing. It really, its engine was that paranoia that this liter of liquid was going to kill black people.
Well, there was so much evidence that those conspiracies were real, like the Tuskegee.
But of course, that's something that's like it's on its feet though. But come on, a liter, something this big, in the water systems that was going to kill all the black people, and that's not a comedy. That was a serious movie. But when you look at it, that's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious to think that you can do a movie about that. So to do a movie, I thought that really talked about that time period where it was kind of this overcorrection because, you had in the 60s, there were like, butlers and maids and all that kind of stuff. But now you had these super overcorrected badasses that could just do anything, right? And I thought it was hilarious to look at it and treat it as if it were like back in that day, like a lost movie. Actually, Tarantino was somebody I was talking to about that whole thing when I was putting Black Dynamite together. And he had certain ideas, but I kind of went my own direction with it. But yeah, man. So yeah, things like that. Like I've gotten to a place where I'm putting these things together that really interest me, and I'm finding that there's an audience that likes it as well. But yeah, man. So it just occurred to me that it was bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
So for that movie just came to you.
Yeah.
But
it came to me just like the whole movie came to me in a ride to set.
is that normal for ideas, or do you sometimes sit down and say, like, I want to write an idea about blank?
Sometimes. Like I have a movie that the next movie I'm going to do is a sequel to a movie I did called As Good as Dead, right? And it became Samuel Goldwyn's one of their most successful movies. I wrote the idea. It was based off my brother. My brother, he went from Florida into Mexico and started a family. He just like fell in love with Mexico, and kind of based my character on him. And he's basically a cop that's like hiding out in Mexico and trying to avoid this syndicate or whatever that's trying to kill him. But that movie just came to me. I wrote it. We were in production like 2 months later, and we actually got the movie done within a year. And it was
How did you get it made so quick?
Yeah, I mean they responded to the script, and it was kind of like a grown-up Karate Kid in a way. So my character, you don't know what was this black dude working construction in Mexico. And he's got his Wing Chun dummy. He's training in his backyard, and there's a kid who's trying to avoid the gangs that he befriends. That he teaches this unique kind of martial art, and so one thing leads to another. This kid gets good at it, and they trace the style back to my character, and then then the bad guys are trying to kill me, and I have to fight back. So what we're doing, we're about to do a sequel. I start that in a couple of weeks, actually. So I wrote that one. But yeah, so I feel like, I don't know, I'm still a fan of movies. I wouldn't write something I wouldn't want to see. And I've seen a lot. I think I understand this industry. I understand there's a lot of stories that I think could be told with fresh ways. And with the action and martial arts that could be new and exciting. Like I'm getting to a place where I'm trying to make fight scenes look very real, like including choreographing mistakes. You know what I mean? I think people have become so much more sophisticated watching UFC fights and all that type of stuff. I think you got to raise the bar to make something look real. And there's a lot of the stuff that's in the superhero movies and whatever that you just kind of go, okay, you're seeing choreography for choreography's sake.
Right.
And you're not invested because you don't feel like you're looking at a real fight.
Right.
And so I like to try to, use my platform to step that up a bit.
Yeah, that's hard, especially as a person who was a martial artist, to watch fight scenes and go, you have to kind of suspend disbelief and go, all right, let this play out.
Kind of like, it's weird, but, kind of full circle. It's kind of going back to the way Bruce Lee did stuff. Mm-hmm. And he's a little faster than the other person. He has a little bit more technique. And if you imagine, like, even if I imagine you in a real fight, your technique's not going nowhere. And other people are not going to have that same technique. You can beat, you beat somebody to the punch. You do things that would logically give you the edge. That's what you shoot. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, so it's not like you got to do a lot of camera tricks. If you're
Right.
moving faster and stronger than another person, well, there it is. There it is. So, luckily, I mean, I can put things on screen that kind of resemble what things might look like, and you get the benefit of the doubt because, you're in a heroic position.
It's just very hard to do that. It's very hard to make it look real. There's a real art to that.
Yeah, but like with the movie that you turned down, Blood and Bone. I
turned down John Wick 4 too, though.
I
turned down a lot of movies.
You did the right thing because what you're doing, you could not, this could not be more, up your alley doing the things that you're doing. But like
John Wick was hard. I'm a giant John Wick fan.
Are you?
Especially John Wick 1. And eventually,
well, there's going to be a John Wick 7, so you can decide to do that if you want to.
They got kind of crazy. They're over the top now. But even John Wick 1 was totally unrealistic.
Oh man,
totally unrealistic, but so fun. I fucking love those movies.
Yeah, well, I got something that's kind of in that vein that I just finished. There's a lot of body count, but a lot of CQB. I've been studying that for a while. A lot
what
of
is
like
CQB?
Oh, close quarter combat.
Oh, okay.
Of course, close quarter battle. But I've been doing like a lot of like tactical training, and kind of getting myself. I may compete at some point.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've gotten pretty into it.
Where do you train at?
Well, a lot of places. I train with a guy named Tyler Gray. He's Delta Force. I had a lot of friends who are like, special force guys.
You ever go to Terran Tactical?
Oh, of course. Yeah. I go to Terran quite a bit.
That guy's the best.
Oh yeah, he's amazing.
You want to talk about someone who's very technical?
Oh my God! He shoots from the hip like better than anybody who's using a laser.
No, he's preposterous.
It's
always
unreal.
Iron sights.
Yeah.
He doesn't. I mean, he uses red dots, but he prefers iron sights. He's like, they never fail, they never go wrong.
Yeah.
And he's so crazy accurate. It's wild to watch.
And when you think about like how fast could you just take out everybody in this damn room? It's kind of
spooky.
Yeah, it is spooky.
Yeah. Well, it's also he's so calm about it too.
Yeah.
It's weird, like almost like autistic, like weird, just fucking Rain Man-ish.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? When you watch him do it, like many times I've gone to his range and trained, and then people will goad him into it, like do a run, like do this. And he's like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to pull this out right here.
Yeah.
Like,
it's crazy.
You're like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then you see how many times he's won the championship?
Oh, yeah, ridiculous.
And like, there's only a few people that won consecutive years. And he's got like 7 years in a row and chunks of I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah, he's a very unique talent.
Yeah.
Very unique talent. Yeah.
Yeah, a buddy of mine, like Tyler Gray, he's been Delta. He's been decorated. Oh my God, his place in Vegas. He creates guns, and he's got like more in his arsenal than every gun store you can imagine. But like he's something else. Like one of the most mellow people you ever want to meet in your life. But he's been the guy. Been the consultant and director on Navy SEALs for years, and but I got a lot of friends doing that. So my brother, he just retired from Secret Service, and Danny Hester.
No,
he was a former Mr. Olympia, classic physique, but he's gotten into. I shoot with these guys all the time, and actually Flex Wheeler. A lot of the guys are. Into the gun stuff, so we go set up stuff and,
But once you start training, you realize like how difficult it is and how long the learning curve is. Because you think, oh, you point, you pull the trigger, what's the big deal? Then you get into it and then you see someone like Taryn or someone who's competing and you go, this is just like everything else, just like karate, like jiu-jitsu, like there's levels.
Oh yeah,
levels and levels and levels.
Yep.
And you see people competing, and you go, "Oh wow,
yeah,
I'd like to do that someday."
Yeah. You're in a great place for it.
Yes, Yeah, Texas is
Yeah.
a great place for it.
Oh yeah.
There's
yeah.
a staccato range that we go to sometimes. It's awesome. They have all these different setups out there. They have this old west town with all these different like targets set up, and you run from doorway to doorway. It's pretty badass.
Yeah, John Jones, I see, is doing quite a bit of that.
Jones is a fucking scary human being. He's so scary.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if you get past him, he's got his fucking dog Dutch.
Yeah.
Which is, he brings a Belgian Malinois everywhere he goes.
Yeah. I know my good friend, Josh Barnett. He's at Terrence a lot too.
Yeah, he's another scary human being.
Yeah.
And a very analytical, intelligent.
One of the most
very well read.
He is like Jeopardy smart.
Yes.
He's like ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's not many things that he doesn't know.
Right, yeah.
He's amazing. I watch you guys on this show. I was very flattered. He mentioned out of nowhere. He started talking about how he was inspired by myself and my wife, and that. It actually got me real choked up. I was like, "What, man?"
Yeah, Josh is a great guy.
Yeah, incidentally, my wife is somebody that I don't know. You met her a long time ago. You last saw her sliding down the Luxor.
Oh, wow. That's
Yes.
crazy.
Yep.
That's crazy. On Fear Factor.
On Fear Factor.
Wow.
Yep. She was sliding down the Luxor when you last saw her. And
That's
she
crazy.
slid right into my arms. Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, we've done our sixth movie together.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
So we've been, we got two our teenagers are. We got one less. Well, we got two left in the house. We're going to college now. So, we're about
That's
to be
awesome.
empty
Congratulations.
nesters. Yeah, man. So, yeah, it's wild how these things kind of connect.
It is wild.
Yeah.
It is wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh is one of he's like one of the best examples to me of when people think of a martial artist or think of a cage fighter, former UFC heavyweight champion, and you think of a guy like, oh, probably some brute, some dude. Have a conversation with him.
Yes.
And you realize the depth of his intellect and the depth of his knowledge, like how much he knows about Nietzsche. He can quote Nietzsche.
Oh, my God.
Like he's so well read. He makes his own whiskey.
Yeah.
Like he's a very interesting guy.
Man, what a Renaissance guy, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A real Renaissance
Yeah,
guy.
we usually have the same birthday, so sometimes we throw parties together.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, when he's in town, he's always in Japan and just all over the place, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's an amazing human being.
He really is.
Yeah.
And again, one of the best examples, like when people have a stereotype of what they think a cage fighter is.
Yeah.
And Josh was the youngest ever UFC heavyweight champion.
Yeah, and man, that's probably like I've trained more with him than so many people. Like, and it's just what a great friendship and what a inspirational thinking person. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and he did Never Back Down 3 with me. We shot that in Thailand.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What's it like training in Thailand? That's got to be fun.
Oh man, kind of hot.
Yeah, but the motherland of Muay Thai.
Yeah. Again, like with every style, there's its strengths and its weaknesses. A lot of them. A lot of things around. They go around and not straight.
Right.
Straight. Of course, the quickest distance between 2 points is a straight line. So it's not a whole lot of. They could do with a lot more boxing technique and some of those things. But man, talk about toughness, that kind of a thing. But it's kind of a tragic, like how they beat the shit out of themselves. Mm-hmm. By the time they're in their 30s, man, they're like.
Yeah, they're busted up.
Yeah,
well, they start fighting when they're very, very young.
Yeah.
But it's also led to them training so intelligently.
Yeah.
One of the things about Thai training, they don't spar like a lot of Americans do, where they beat the fuck out of each other. They play spar.
Yeah.
And that play sparring allows them to not get beat up by the time they get into the ring on Saturday, because a lot of them are fighting every week. So they do touch sparring. And a lot of people say, oh, you can't get good touch sparring. Well, you certainly can.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Especially when you're fighting every weekend.
Yeah.
And that's probably the best way to do it, because you're just working on timing, pattern recognition, and just getting your reps in.
Yeah, just like with jiu-jitsu, of course, when you don't muscle things, when the technique, you let the technique do its
Right.
thing. That's so much better.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
and you maintain so much better as well.
Right. And I think one of the best examples of that is like Sanchai, because Sanchai is in his 40s and he's still fucking people up. I mean, it's crazy watching that guy fight. But you look at him, a very unassuming guy, you know, that's not ripped. You know, he's an older guy, but he's just his timing and his smoothness and his the way he moves. And it's very playful. But he's just fucking people up.
Yeah, yeah. Man, it makes me. I miss Thailand. I actually we did our wedding ceremony in Thailand.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and you know who officiated part of it was Tony Jaa.
Oh really?
Tony Jaa
that's
did
cool.
the Buddhist part of our wedding.
Oh,
he did the water
wow.
blessing, and he also sang at the wedding. Yeah.
That's
he's
cool.
He's like
Ong Bak.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of the greatest martial artists ever.
Ooh, what
Yeah.
a great movie that was.
Yeah.
For martial arts technique, that was like one of the first times like real true Muay Thai was exhibited in a film. Like
Absolutely,
at a
yeah.
super high level.
Yeah. And Tony just, my God, like he would do these incredible feats in front of you, just unbelievable. He could do a spin, he would do a somersault, hit you in the shoulder, and just tap you like that with his foot. Wow. Just he had that much control. It's unbelievable. Yeah. He was sick recently, but he's I think he's overcoming. I think it was a C word, man.
Ooh.
Yeah. You know, I haven't talked to him in a minute. I just found out about it about I don't know, a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I knew he got thinner, but I'm hoping that he's better now.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Yeah, he's something else.
It's so fascinating to me how different parts of the world develop a different style of martial arts, and Thailand in particular, because of the fact that there was so much gambling and there were so many fights, that they developed this very heavy leg kick, clinch, elbow, knee style.
Yeah.
It was just very different than a lot of the other styles. Mm-hmm. You know, and for a long time was really dominating in kickboxing. But then you're starting to see other styles, like particularly a lot of Kyokushin guys now.
Yeah.
Specifically out of Japan. Have you ever seen this kid, Yuki Yoza?
Is he Kyokushin?
Yeah, Kyokushin guy out of Japan who's dominating people. He fights very different, man. He's fucking up a lot of Thai guys with calf kicks.
Okay.
Oh
okay.
my God, dude.
No, I hadn't heard. I just
fascinated
officiated
by
a Kyokushin tournament yesterday. What? It was Sunday. Was that 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still connected in the Kyokushin. I mean, been doing that, since I was a kid.
Well, you did the whole thing, like where you have to fight like 100 guys in a day. You did all that shit,
well,
right?
I've done a 30-man. I haven't done 100.
I'm exaggerating, but it's like a lot of people.
Yeah, which is the toughest. Honestly, I love it. It was the toughest thing I ever had to really face, because you come to a point where you want to give up, and you have to just, kind of walk the burning sands.
What is it like walking the next day?
Man, I remember the first time I did a 10-man, and I had several knees on my legs, put it that way. So because they destroy your legs so bad.
Yeah.
Right. I did a 20-man one other time, and made the mistake of having I had like a energy drink beforehand, which is stupid because now my heart is racing higher than normal. And so it made it even harder. But somewhere around, like, inevitably you get to a place where I remember the 12th guy, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you here? But you have to dig deep.
And you got 18 more to go.
Yeah. So I'm like, man, but honestly.
It's such a hard style.
Yeah, but man, it's something about getting, because you're going to be faced with yourself. You're going to be, you want to quit, and you have to just dig down and get through it. And there's nothing like it when you accomplish it, because you know where you can go. You know that most of the time when you tell yourself you're done, you're not. What a valuable lesson it is to know that about yourself.
Yeah.
And you can't, there's no substitute for that. And it's just something that you just benefit. I remember the last time I did this, we had to train out in Banff, Canada. Because usually these things are in Japan. and people from all over the style, they come and they train. You're like training 8 hours a day. You got these little lunch breaks, and I didn't think it through. I think the last one was like about 5-6 years ago. I wanted to challenge myself. I want to do this, but I'm by myself. And most people come with family members and all that kind of stuff.
So you're by yourself. You're a movie star.
Yeah, and I had the target on my back, but it's like,
of course.
Yeah. And it's like we'd have a training thing, and then you got a certain amount of time to go eat, but then people want to take pictures with me, and I'm the last guy to get into the lunch thing, and then I was like, oh shit, I got 10 minutes to eat, and then I got to get back in the next training session.
And you have a full stomach.
Yeah, and then you got like, I mean, it kind of sucked, but I taught myself something. I said, you could be 3 hours in. I tell myself, I just got here, and I dig deeper and whatever. And then the last few days, you're just fighting down to the last person. And there's people that's like, they got their eye on you because like, I've got the bullseye on me, but the great thing is, dude, like I say, I learned a lot. I'm doing footwork with Frankie for years. I'm a boxing technique. I've got Benny Urquidez. Bill Wallace was my instructor. I've got so many things in my arsenal. And to test myself, it's such a great benefit to and it was weird because I was thinking like, am I insane? Because I had a movie that I was going to be starting in like a week later. I could have just been messed up. I could have had a broken leg or whatever. A lot of times you leave with a souvenir, they call it. Like, when you train in Japan, a lot of the Japanese want to give you a souvenir. That means a broken bone. But I had to try to, overcome that. So in life, it's, especially in this kind of coddled life I'm living, I don't get a chance to test myself that much, right?
Right.
And, yeah, I had to, listen to my own complaints and shut the fuck up and get through it. Yeah, oh, it's not fair because everybody's taking pictures and you're doing this and I'm by myself. No, that's not, the point is get through it, Yeah. And I'm so glad to do that. And I always that's why I like to train with champions and stuff because that's you want to get through things. It should be you should be tested. I mean, if I had a religion, a large part of it, if I was the head of my own religious cult, would be that men go through something. There's a rites of passage.
Yes,
you got to know how to protect yourself and your family and your loved ones. That to me is paramount.
You also have to know what's inside of you. Like,
That's
and the only
exactly
way to
right.
find out is to test it.
Exactly.
Because otherwise you get these dudes that have their chest pumped out and they're talking loud. Why are they doing that? Because they want to scare people off.
Right.
Because they don't know what they're capable of. They're terrified.
Yeah, and you can't hide from yourself.
Right.
And that's the thing. I'm not going to bullshit myself. I want to know, and it's great. There's no substitute for going through that. And that's the thing why I love fighters so much. You're basically naked to the world.
Right.
You have to dig down. You have to overcome things.
Yeah.
That's why I love them so much because they're our gladiators. We live vicariously through them. And that's why I'm a little dogged about actors receiving those accolades when they haven't done it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I know
Even myself
exactly what you're
included. I don't care if somebody says, "Oh, he's not a fighter. He's an actor." Fine, you should think that way.
Right.
But personally, it's something deeper for myself. And one person I think I identify with that is you because I've seen you. I've seen you in the gyms back when it wasn't popular, and we're doing it for reasons that it has nothing to do with glory or ego or anything like that. It's just for self-improvement.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about, man, because it's about overcoming obstacles. And your biggest obstacle in the world is yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. My instructor, when I was very young, told me that martial arts are a vehicle for developing your human potential.
Exactly.
But it's so hard.
Yeah.
And people need something hard.
Yeah. And what about Khabib's what did Khabib say? Like what he says about discipline.
Oh, that rant.
Man, I had to record. Oh, that.
I don't know if that rant is real. Somebody told me that rant is AI.
What?
Yeah. Is it AI? I think so. Damn it.
What?
Well, who cares?
Well, yeah,
It's in Khabib's voice, and I bet Khabib would agree with every word it said.
Yes. You know,
Find that rant because let's pretend that it's not AI, or it may be one of AI's greatest contributions to martial arts.
Absolutely,
because becoming addicted to discipline.
Yeah, every man addicted to something.
Yeah.
You know,
it's such a great rant. Here it is.
Yeah.
Give me this. It's such a fucking great rant. Start from the beginning too.
Every man addicted to something. Some smoke, some drink, some chase girls, some waste time. But real man, he addicted to discipline. To early wakes, to prayer, to training, to silence. Discipline no need motivation. Discipline move without feeling. Discipline say, I go anyway, even when tired, even when lonely. Discipline is best addiction. You want strong life? Discipline build it. You want peace? Discipline protect it. You want respect? Discipline earn it. No shortcut, only work. Be man with control, not man with excuse. No cry, no blame. You want better life? Start with better habits. Discipline every day until discipline become you.
Fucking yeah.
Yeah, I don't give a
Dead
damn
on.
if there's AI or whatever. But I'm like, well, kudos to the AI person that put that together.
Yeah.
What?
That's how he lives.
Yeah.
So even if it's AI, he would go, this is accurate.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you
Yes.
what, man, that part of the world, Dagestan, you want to talk about a hard part of the world
yeah.
that is developing some of the baddest motherfuckers. Even in Muay Thai. There's this cat coming out of Muay Thai at a Dagestan right now, Azadullah Imangazaliyev, who's like 22 years old, and he is fucking everybody up. A Dagestani Muay Thai fighter
Really?
who has his own style. He's this tall, lanky dude who's one of the most terrifying strikers alive right now. A lot of people think he's the best striker alive.
Oh, man.
I think he's 22 or 23 years old, and he's just fucking everybody up. He fights for ONE FC. Give me a highlight reel of this cat.
This is just from a fight, I guess. The highlight reel didn't pop up right away, so I just went with the first fight.
That's it. Best technical striker in the world. That's it. Click on that. Just give me some of this. Just start it from the beginning. This dude, that tall dude with the beard, Azadullah Imangazaliyev. Watch this motherfucker. What a style he has. I mean, it's just this long, tall, lanky dude, perfect timing and measurement. And he just starts piecing dudes up.
I think this is like his full fight.
Yeah, well, I don't
Yeah,
think so. If you scoot ahead, I think he fucks this guy up pretty quick. I've seen this fight. This guy he catches with one shot, but some dudes not so lucky.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was one shot, but it keeps going, and then give me the next fight. He just starts lighting guys on fire, including Thais, and they don't know what the fuck is going on because he fights different than them. I mean, he's
Yeah.
a Muay Thai fighter.
He's got that straight, that he's exploiting the fact that they got so much round technique.
Exactly. A lot of front kicks up the middle, and especially to the face. But also his spinning attacks. He's got wicked spinning attacks, man. And also comes off angle a lot. His head's never on the center line. Super fucking technical. But just lighting dudes on fire. And just just an attacker, always attacking. And has the benefit of that range, that long range.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nice.
dude is incredible. And again, 22 years old. Like, look at that. So he's combining like Taekwondo techniques, karate techniques, and precision Muay Thai. I mean, the problem with this not this style, but this form is that a lot of people aren't seeing it. ONE FC is doing a really good job of highlighting a lot of like elite Muay Thai fighters. You know, they have Tawan Chai over there and Sita Chai and all these like high level guys. But in America, this, for whatever reason, has not caught on. And the only way this guy's going to get the kind of attention that I think he deserves is if he gets into MMA.
Boom.
Yeah, look at axe kick, look at his spinning back fist.
Oh,
Boom.
man. His straight rights are no
dude,
joke.
He's a laser beam.
Yeah.
He's so focused. He's so good, man. So good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Dagestanis are now entering into Muay Thai, which is a terrible sign for all these Muay Thai guys.
Yeah, man.
Those are hard,
some tough-ass people, man.
Hard people who
yeah.
start at a very young age. I mean, a very young age. And also Dagestanis now, because of Khabib and Islam, they all know that this is the pathway to greatness.
Yes, yeah.
And so there's heroes. And their community, Ankalaev, there's all these guys that have been world champions out of Dagestan now. So it's like you're seeing all these guys come out of there, and some of these young guys that are coming up are so good.
Yeah.
They're so good. But this is fascinating to me that you take a guy who's adapted this Thai style, but then morphed it into something that's different. And again, like you were saying, a lot of straight techniques.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when you're a tall guy like that for the weight class. Because I think he fights at 145. And when you're that tall at 145, and you got those straight shots down the middle.
Oh, yeah. Like his right is just like, you can't really see it. 'Cause
Laser
it's just
beam.
going, right directly at him.
But it's also the hooks, too. His hooks are coming around the guard.
Right.
Like everything is precise, and his accuracy is spectacular.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a student. Obviously, I watch every fight I can. I watch kickboxing. I watch Muay Thai. I watch jiu-jitsu matches. I watch it all. But I'm always fascinated by these cats that stand out, and this guy just stands out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great when somebody knows how to use their length like that.
Yeah. Well, Yuki Yoza, the Kyokushin guy that I was telling you, totally different. What this guy's doing is shelling up and getting in tight on guys and kicking the fuck out of their inner thigh, outer calf, lower. Like he's chopping at their legs. So even Thai guys don't know what to do because they're not used to guys kicking their calves like this guy.
Right. Yeah.
So he's inside going shin to shin, and you know as well as anybody, Kyokushin guys have some of the most conditioned shins in the world.
Yeah.
They're always battering shin to shin, and this dude is just getting in. And you see in the second round, a lot of these Thai guys like, oh fuck, I can't walk.
Yeah.
I can't move right. My calves don't work anymore.
Yeah.
So the calf kick, which is really kind of revolutionized MMA, it's changed MMA because 1-2 hard calf kicks, you're compromised. You're not moving right anymore, and you're not pivoting off that foot when you're punching. So your punching power is diminished. This Yuki Yoza guy is like putting it on Thai guys with it.
That's something. I mean, especially for a Kyokushin guy to. I mean, the knock with Kyokushin, I've been doing it ever since I was a kid, is just that not developing facial. Facial. Blocks.
Well, this guy has incorporated Russian-style boxing.
Oh,
he's got Russian-style boxing with Kyokushin karate techniques.
Well, yeah, but with the Russian-style boxing, they really kind of mastered the non-telegraph kind of. Yeah, because it looks like they're not going fast.
Yuki Yoza highlight reel. There's a bunch of fights with him and Thai guys. And, the first round, Thai guys are doing their thing, and it looks, like a normal fight. But the Yuki Yoza just starts chopping at those calves, inside, and he's like multiple kicks to the calf from in tight and close.
Yeah, that's punishing.
And you see guys like playing at like, go ahead, kick me. And then after a while, they're like, fuck, don't kick me anymore. They're trying to get macho with him, pretending it's not working.
But what would it take to develop like
this is Yuki Yoza.
Your thighs.
You see how he's chopping when he's getting tight. Look at this, always.
Ow.
Look at how much he's utilizing all of the karate techniques, but also in tight just destroys guys' legs. But also spinning back kicks, all that other shit. But look at his boxing is excellent too.
Ooh.
A lot of Muay Thai stuff, dumping people, but look at that. He's constantly kicking the inside of the leg. When they're committing to kicks, he's taking their legs out. This dude, one of my favorite guys to watch right now. Look, that's a Thai guy, man. He's just destroying their legs, man. And excellent movement.
Yeah.
And he comes out of a very high-level gym in Japan that's produced a lot of really Masasaki Nori, another guy who's like that, who's a very similar guy who beat Tawan Chai recently. Like, these guys are just destroying people's legs. So they're utilizing a lot of the question mark kicks, a lot of the stuff that evolved in Kyokushin, but putting it into kickboxing. Yeah. Also with the toughness that is in, a lot of the Kyokushin fighters.
Yeah, I see him slip into a Superman.
Yeah.
everybody's going to be susceptible for that. If you got a leg kick that's that legitimate, yeah, they're going to bite on that.
Right.
It's going to be open for them.
And then he uses a Superman punch. Yeah. And another very young guy. So there's these people that are exploiting like these holes in these styles because some of these Thai guys are so hard to beat. They have by the time they're competing and they're 25 years old, they might have 150 fights. So much experience, but this cat's figuring them out, man. And it's really interesting to watch. You know?
Yeah, I would love to see. I wish there was like some kind of governing body that we could get all the some superstars or whatever. Get this guy versus this guy from.
Well, one is doing that a lot, but one unfortunately is not that popular in America. What I love about one is they'll have grappling competitions, they'll have kickboxing, they'll have Muay Thai, and then they'll have MMA. They'll have them all combined on one card.
One is the one with that Michael Chiavello is on, right?
Well, he was on that. Michael Chavelle's not with one anymore. Michael Chevelle is one of the best commentators ever.
Yeah.
He's excellent. Great guy, too.
I'll probably be seeing him in another 3 weeks.
You going to Australia?
Yeah, going to Australia.
Nice.
My wife and I, we're going to, we did a tour. I do seminars over there and we, meet and greets and stuff like that. We haven't done that in a while, but yeah, got some really good fighters out there.
Oh yeah, John Wayne Parr.
Yeah,
some great fighters have come out of Australia.
Yeah, so we're gonna have some fun out there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're awesome. In New Zealand.
Oh yeah, another hotbed.
Oh yeah,
another hotbed for fighters. Well, just warrior cultures, so much
absolutely,
warrior history to those places.
I don't think I've never met an Australian that I didn't like.
I know they're the nicest
so
fucking people.
Cool,
they're the coolest people. They're friendly.
Yeah.
Easy going.
Yeah, you have rites of passage still. Mm-hmm. Places like that. That's one thing that is sad about United States. It's like we're not making men anymore.
Not a lot of them.
No.
When they are, they stand out.
Yeah, that's why it's like a lot of times in these movies, if you have an alpha male, a lot of times that American alpha male is being played by an Australian or somebody from
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, it's so it's very rarely an American. It's like such a trip, man.
Well, masculinity is demonized here for some strange reason over the last couple of decades.
Bruh, I saw the beginning of a lot of it because, like I said, I was a school teacher. Mm-hmm. And I was right on the forefront seeing everybody gets a trophy. These kids, they're it's about their self-esteem and you got to protect them. I'm like, come on. And, taking away competition.
Yeah.
I saw the beginning of that shit. And it's just so bad. And then these kids don't know how to deal with loss or anything, and then they end up shooting a classroom. Right.
Dealing with loss is one of the most important lessons you could ever learn. If you want to get better, lose.
Yeah.
Losing is the best medicine because you lose. I don't ever want to feel that again. And then you start thinking about all the things that you cut corners on, all the things that you didn't do. What can I do differently to make sure that never happens again, that I never feel that feeling? Or you quit. Those are the two options. Yeah. Either you get way better or you quit. But winning, sometimes you don't learn. You go, well, I'm doing the right thing. I'm winning. I'm getting better. I'm developing confidence. That's good. But, man, sometimes a loss is the best medicine.
Yeah, man. I realized something when I was, I was born with some gifts. Okay. I did one thing that got me into college is decathlon. As a fluke, I jumped into a race against one of the fastest guys on the track team and beat him, right? And that was just a fluke. And the coach saw that. The track coach saw that and was like, "Oh my God, you're fucking running for the school!" And I was like, "Oh, okay." I was just like, I didn't have any kind of adult that took a liking to me like that. And the next thing you know, I'm on the track team, and I started. I was really good. And then I wound up going to college because of that. And incidentally, that's the stuff that really kind of taught me to kind of evolve my martial arts. Because nowhere is there a benefit of cutting off fractions of seconds in movement like track. Like when I'm doing the shot put. Well, a lot of times I was competing against people that were ginormous, And all they have to do is stick their arm out, and their arc was going to be better than mine. Well, I had to generate enough power to go at a 45-degree angle and in inertia and all that to get past them. And with running, of course, if you shoot the gun off, all your motion has to go forward. If you go backward, you're going to be a step behind everybody. So as far as efficiency of motion, all the things I had to do with track, I started applying in fighting. And that's what kind of gave me cheat codes into things to where being super efficient really helped, right? And so one thing would like kind of help the other. But like, yeah, a lot of my whole track thing was a great benefit. But I did learn that I was kind of in a way like the Bo Jacksons or the Herschel Walkers. I was gifted. And so when I would fight, I was a big guy that was fast. And it didn't, that was kind of rare. So fighting was easy to me. But I learned that when I was as the celebrated fighter, that was less of a good martial artist because then I would flake off other things. Like I didn't try as hard as other people. And that's another thing I don't know if Khabib really said, but it was a thing that he said about those gifted people. A lot of people who are gifted were not the best fighters.
Yeah, that is a quote from him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I took that that same thing because I realized, dude, you're doing it wrong. My philosophy was like, I feel I adapted the philosophy of, okay, say, this kid Sean is 140 pounds, and there's me, and it takes me 1,000 kicks to become fatigued, and it takes him 100 kicks to become fatigued. And he pushes to 120, and I push to 1,001. Who's the better martial artist? He is. Because he's pushed into his comfort zone. He's pushing himself further. What if he one day gets to 1,000? For him to go from 100 to 1,000, that's going to be a quality 900 that I don't have. Right. Me being the gifted one.
Right.
I'm looking at it using the comparative method, saying, well, I mean, at the end of the year, I used to kick a basketball rim. I had that ability. But when I started thinking about, well, what I compare myself to other people, that was the wrong thing. So I said, no, I'm going to be like Sean. I want to train to my ability, not in comparison to someone else. And that really taught me something. As far as, like, again, why I put myself through these things and the benefit of it by really, like, what the martial arts really teaches is, in the fact that, yeah, I had these gifts, but if I use those gifts as a crutch, I'm limiting what I can be.
Right. You're limiting your potential.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so
oftentimes it's too easy for the gifted guys, and so they kind of slack off.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, that's and I realized that's what I was doing.
They also are not as comfortable with struggle.
Absolutely.
And being comfortable with struggle is a very important part of growth.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, it's a mixed message because we start to admire the freak sometimes. We as men, we celebrate the pugilist a lot. And that's kind of a thing that where it came full circle to where, okay, yeah, I'm able to do these things, but is that really me? Is that the limit of what I can be? By having someone else go, oh, yeah, you can do this or that. That's kind of that's not really the crux of it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's really about, like, yeah, there's going to be people that's going to praise what you can do physically. But I realized there was a point where that was kind of retarding where I could be mentally and what I can really become.
You also have a responsibility to those gifts.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you are gifted athletically, you have a responsibility of achieving the full potential because you've been given this thing by genetics, by life, by God, this thing where you are faster, you move quicker, you have more explosive power. But are you going to harness that gift and allow it to reach its full potential?
Right.
And when you do that, then you get a Mike Tyson. When you do that, then you get a Michael Jordan. You do that, then you get an elite of the elite. You get what David Goggins always like to call uncommon amongst uncommon men.
Right.
And that's the real hard thing to do. Because so many of these like really gifted guys in the gym, they always kind of peter off and disappear. And when they're in a fight where they fight another gifted guy that maybe trained a little harder than them, and maybe he's got a little bit more experience, they realize, like, man, I don't want to struggle like that. I don't like that. I don't like that feeling. I like beating up guys in the gym that are below me.
Yeah, and then you got to deal with that person in the mirror.
Yeah,
and
that's
that's
hard.
not.
It's hard for guys when they're the hammer their whole life, and then one day they're the nail.
Yeah,
and you see guys that are like really elite that are dominating, and then one day they get fucked up, and then you never see them again. It's oftentimes, but then you'll see the guy who like gets fucked up a bunch of times and keeps showing up, and keeps showing up, and keeps learning, and then you realize like, oh, this guy is now elite.
Yeah, and those are the true heroes to me.
Right.
You know?
Right. Me too.
You know, there's people I don't want, you know, sometimes you get in trouble pointing out people like I don't want to say somebody like Izzy or whatever, but like you see the people who are used to having that ability over other people, and when it gets hard. Right. And then it's like even sometimes there's a talk about even Tyson. And you know, as just people who are just spectators, when you go, oh man, this guy's so gifted. Now, some of the knock has been that when it became hard, you hadn't seen him dig down and overcome that thing. Right. You know, because a lot of times when it got hard, it was like he just, you know, kind of tapped out. Yeah. And so that's something that, you know, not to disparage him, but it's just as you know, people are looking at life, we look at, you know, we look at those things and we can take a lot of meaning from that and apply that and say, oh, wow, if that's on him to say, oh, was that the case? Or I think or is it is something that, I don't know.
I think with Mike, it's a very special case because I think he had the elite coaching in the beginning with Cus D'Amato and training. And then when Cus died, he was kind of left with all this amazing ability that he had developed when he was young, but not with the elite coaching. Like, so if Mike had left when Cus D'Amato died, if he had then went to Emmanuel Stewart, or if then, you know what I'm saying? If they had went to an elite boxing coach and had someone analyze his style, and someone he really respected.
Yes, absolutely.
That he could still maintain that same level of discipline when he was the 21-year-old dominating the world.
Oh my God! But he has so much pressure on him.
So much
because you know I had to play him, so I had to study everything he did, and it's interesting because, oh my God, like I always viewed him as somebody who was always looking for a father figure. Yes, and I would study him, and you know, with Cus D'Amato, he would dress like Cus D'Amato. He's a young black guy from Brooklyn with suspenders. Right. You know, in a cabbie hat. Like, you know. Yeah. And then when Cus D'Amato was gone, he was around Kevin Rooney, and Kevin Rooney had this really fast way of talking. And it seemed like he adapted that. And when he was with Swalwell? No, shoot. Why am I blanking? The other manager,
Jim Jacobs.
Jim Jacobs. You know, Jim Jacobs was married. I think marriage became important to him at that point because he was really under the umbrella of Jim Jacobs. And then when he was with
Robin Givens,
with Don King. Oh yeah. The N word is every third word out of his mouth, very much like Don King. He goes to prison. He's got two father figures on him, Mao Zedong, and he's got Arthur Ashe on another shoulder, and I would just notice that, like, even speech patterns would change, you know. And I looked at him as, wow, here's a guy that I felt like I identified with a great deal because coming from the same kind of place. But yeah, it's interesting because I think a lot of people don't know how much struggle he had to deal with, because the people think that Kevin Rooney was kind of a savior in that situation when he wasn't. Kevin Rooney explained to me directly that he says, if you ever see Mike, please apologize for me, because when Mike was married to Robin Givens, he didn't want to do this interview, and then turn around, Kevin Rooney did the interview, and Kevin Rooney was like, I really messed up when I did that. And Kevin Rooney even told me that when at the Spinks fight alone, Kevin made like over $1 million. He left that casino owing. Mike had to bail him out like so many times.
Jesus.
And so people thought, oh, Kevin Rooney is in control. No, Mike was. I mean, he had so much pressure on him, and I think with Don King trying to hire Mike's cohorts to help out, if he's going to hang out with him anyway, to try to just do that. He had so much. This dude had so much pressure on him. It's unbelievable.
And Don King definitely took advantage of that.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
You know, because I knew Don because I was always in the fight camps with Frankie Laus. In fact, that's how I got to first meet Mike Tyson. When Mike was in prison, Frankie put Mike and I on the phone together. And so I would, you know, do my little kind of interviewing of Mike while he was in prison, because I was going to be playing him. So I wanted the whole story.
Right.
And, you know, and I went to Catskills on my own and knocked on that door and spent time with the people he grew up with in that house.
Oh, wow.
You know, so I learned a lot. There's a lot that, you know, the public doesn't know. And that I think he was concerned about, you know, coming out, and, you know, it didn't. And so it was really interesting. I was front and center on how much pressure this guy had to deal with. He had to kind of develop with the whole world looking over his shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was.
And he was 20,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is crazy. Youngest ever heavyweight champion of the world. He's went from being a 13-year-old kid with no family to being adopted by this guy who's not just training him, but also hypnotizing him. And then he's got Jim Jacobs, who exposes him to this library of all the greatest fighters of all time. And he's watching video footage of it.
Yeah, Bill Caton. Yeah. Bill Caton and Jim. Yeah.
It's an extraordinary story because it's like unlike anyone else's. Like the environment that he was exposed to and the way it produced this guy who was unlike any heavyweight before. I mean, in his prime, I always point to the Marvis Frazier fight. I always tell people, you want to see like the scariest motherfucker that ever stepped into the ring. Mike Tyson versus Marvis Frazier.
Yeah.
He was just undeniable, just undeniable. But that pressure, the kind of pressure that no one could explain what that's like. There's no internet back then, so there's not as many famous people. So like, who's he gonna relate to? Who's gonna tell him what this is like? There's no one like him.
Yeah.
You had Muhammad Ali. You had a few other guys that could maybe tell him what it was like, but for the most part, he's got no roadmap. And he's out there in this world of superstardom. We could do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
Everywhere he goes, people are screaming and cheering, and he's knocking everybody out in the first round.
Yeah, yeah. The pressure on that, man. And then to have to fight Holyfield.
Right.
A guy who was really kind of more like a big brother to him throughout his life, you know, his professional life. Because, you know, Holyfield was a cruiserweight. You know, and Holyfield was the type of guy, how you doing, Mike? You check on him and all that type of stuff. Then he has to fight this guy. And there was deep down, like, he's got to fight this guy he's got this reputation as a holy man, and he's all this type of stuff. And then I remember being at that fight, and I remember the press conference, and Mike was like really manufacturing this hatred that I was like, that's not real. Like, he's trying to dig down to really get this edge to really hate Holyfield. And I was like, I thought that was a mistake, but and I don't think psychologically he was in his game.
Right.
You know, 'cause
Holyfield had an edge on him.
Yeah,
I think it was also the
psychologically.
fact the holy man thing was a big deal. Like
Yeah.
Holyfield had this incredible belief in God, and he really believed that, God was looking out for him, and he was going to go in there and
and then
couldn't be deterred.
dude, the third round. I mean, look, of course, I studied all this stuff on Mike Tyson. Third round of that first fight got chills because think about it. He heard something that he never heard his entire career. Everybody started chanting for the other guy.
Right.
Holyfield, Holyfield. And I swear to you, I saw just the air come out of this guy.
Yeah.
And it was like, I've done all of this, and they're chanting for this man. And how gracious he was, how Tyson was at the end, I felt like that's not a new thought. You kind of had that opinion of him going into this.
Well, Holyfield had been through the wars, right?
Mm-hmm.
He had those wars with Riddick Bowe. He had the first war with Dwight Muhammad Qawi. Remember that fight at cruiserweight? Oh my God! Go back and watch that fight.
Yeah.
He had the war with Burt Cooper. Like he had wars.
And Holyfield was unflappable. He's like,
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know why Mike saying this about me, but he's just, it's like, he's just like, he's just,
he never got angry.
yeah. It's like, how you doing?
Yeah.
It's hard to maintain like anger for that dude. Like,
Right.
he's just like, okay, it's okay.
Well, that's also terrifying too, because
Yeah.
you can't get in there.
Yeah.
You're trying to get in that head, and it's like you're not getting in there. God's in there.
Yeah, and then I was like,
Yeah.
if you look at it, Mike Tyson was committing to every first blow.
Yep.
Holyfield is a counter fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Fake him, let him throw that counter, and you got him.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think normally Mike knows this. Holyfield's center of gravity, so different. He's thin-legged, big up top. Mike should be able to push him easily. Easily. I didn't see the things that I normally saw from Mike Tyson in that fight, which made me feel like this is a psychological component.
It's a psychological component, but it's also a training component because again, he wasn't with an elite trainer at that time. It wasn't the same as him being trained by Costamato. It wasn't the same.
Yeah, but
He didn't have the bobbing and weaving style that he used to
do
have.
you remember when he caught Holyfield with the body shot and the uppercut?
Yeah.
And just like, basically, you almost said, you saw, finish him.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he just chilled. Do you remember that moment?
I don't specifically.
Yeah, there's
I
a
don't
moment. There's a
specifically.
moment like that.
Where he
that
hurts him.
he hurt him, and Holyfield looked like it's like.
Yeah, but Holyfield would rebound. I mean, the
Yeah,
Riddick Bowe fights.
But you look at Tyson, you look at almost everything he's done. I thought I was about to see the beginning of the end, and I'm like, what the? I remember being there going, why isn't he jumping on him? Hey, maybe I'm wrong or whatever, but I swear I saw that moment. And I remember going, what's going on? Why is he not jumping on him? It's interesting. It's interesting.
Psychology plays a big role in how you feel
I
about the
think
opponent,
so.
and the opponent essentially holds up a mirror and allows you to look at yourself.
Yeah,
And when he's
yeah.
comparing himself to this holy man, he probably didn't like it.
Joe, I think that's the way I thought about it. And of course, who am I to do? But this is my opinion.
Those dudes
Yeah.
with that kind of character, like Holyfield had at the time, those are scary guys. Because they can't be broken mentally. Like,
Right.
They're always good. And if you try to break him physically and he rebounds, like, oh God, how much do I have left in the tank?
Yeah.
How many more of these shots can I take?
Yeah, like no, it's different if somebody like taunted you. Mm-hmm. Now you can manufacture like
Right.
But when the guy's just like, okay, I'm just doing my thing. Bip, and you kind of start going, oh, is it me? Because you don't. Then it's like that's when you have fedors.
Right.
Somebody like that is just like, like this. It's like you drown yourself.
Stoic.
Because I can't derive nothing from him. It's like
he was the best at it.
Yeah.
Fedor was the best at it. Fedor would be in the middle of the most chaotic war, and it looked like he was just sipping a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
It was crazy. There was no one like that guy. He's one of the most unique characters. I think we were robbed of one of the greatest heavyweight matchups of all time when they never figured out how to put Cain Velasquez versus Fedor when they were both in their primes.
Man, Cain Velasquez is the scariest person I've ever seen, as far as I'm concerned. Like, if there was one guy that, like, because I pride myself, I get in the ring with anybody. That guy, man.
He never got tired.
Man, he
had
just like a juggernaut.
cardio. He had cardio for a heavyweight that was like a marathon runner. It didn't make any sense. He was a 240-pound guy who never got tired.
Yeah, didn't I think
perfect technique.
Yeah, and I think the fights with
Junior Dos Santos,
I feel like they ruined each other.
Yes,
I feel like they ruined each other.
Well, I think certainly ruined Junior. Especially the second fight. The first fight, Junior caught. The first fight, Cain should have never took that fight. Cain had to take that fight because it was on Fox. It was a big deal. It was the main event of the first Fox card, and Cain blew his knee out. So if you look at that fight, Cain's wearing a knee brace. His knee was fucked up. Like his meniscus was torn. He was all fucked up. He couldn't anchor on it. He couldn't really post on it. And then he couldn't get out of the way. And Junior caught him with a big right hand, cracked him, dropped him, stopped him. And then he comes back. Here it is. Here's Tyson versus Holyfield.
Tyson unleashing uppercuts for the
boom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but Holyfield's still there. He's still there.
Remember, he has a chance. He has a chance right now. Vander's hurt. That right hand to the body.
You heard what he said, right?
Yeah. But that took some wind out of Evander right away. Biggest round for Mike yet.
But the thing about Evander is Evander was always there. He had been through these kind of fights before.
But I don't know where I am, but I was there. And something about seeing that, I felt like, oh, he's about to take him out.
But I think because Evander rebounded, and Evander had a history of rebounding.
Oh, sure,
he had a history
absolutely.
Of wars.
Absolutely,
but
it
fights.
It still doesn't change the fact that there was, I feel like there was an opportunity.
Yeah.
And that was a very un-Tyson-like situation.
I just don't think Tyson was Tyson anymore by this time. I mean, I think he was a one-punch guy by this time. He wasn't cutting those crazy angles where he would slide off to the side and rip the body and go. He was standing right in front of guys.
Yeah.
He lost a lot of what made him special, which was the speed of combinations and the movement.
The movement is primarily because he could have never gotten that far if he didn't do that.
Show that Marvis Frazier fight. Show that Marvis Frazier fight. Tyson versus Marvis Frazier is my favorite Tyson performance. Because Marvis Frazier looked like he was going to a funeral at the beginning of the fight. Like, look at him. I mean, you feel the energy from his face.
And he didn't play the Covenant right after this with the grizzly bear just mauling the hell out. It's the same thing.
Well, here it is. He just all over Marvis, like from the beginning. This was on ABC Wide World of Sports. I remember watching this at home. But look at the bobbing and the weaving. It's not just right in front of him. It's angles. Like right here. Boom!
Oh, man. Oh, man.
That was when he was the champ. I mean, he wasn't the champ yet, but he was the champ. He was about to fight Trevor Berbick, but everybody was like, oh, my God, he's real.
Yeah, here's the thing that sparked some controversy. Mike Tyson versus Muhammad Ali.
It depends on which Tyson and which Muhammad Ali.
Well, the best of both. Of course, you got to say the best.
Muhammad Ali wasn't Muhammad Ali. I think it was Cassius Clay. I think the best was when he fought Cleveland Big Cat Williams. To me, I always tell people, like, you want to know Ali before they took his title away, before they put him on the shelf for 3 years because he wouldn't fight in Vietnam, watch Cleveland Big Cat Williams, because Cleveland was a big, scary power puncher, and Muhammad Ali was just dancing around him, around.
But was he bigger than Muhammad Ali, though? See, that's
Cleveland?
That's the thing about Muhammad Ali. People don't realize he was like the biggest guy in the ring. He was only 4 pounds different than Foreman. People don't realize because he moves around the way he moves.
Back then, but in the Cleveland Big Cat Williams days, he was lighter. He was only like 215 or 220.
And Cleveland Williams was what?
He's big. Look at the size of Cleveland. Look at his back. Look at the back on Cleveland.
And look at the legs, though.
Yeah, but he was a power puncher, man. You watch look at his back. Cleveland was a scary dude, man.
He might be lean. But Muhammad Ali's a big dude.
Oh, he's definitely a big dude.
I think
But
Muhammad Ali's bigger than that guy.
Maybe. But look at the movement, man. My
God. Absolutely.
So this movement was absent when he came back 3 years later. He never fought like this again. And when he fought Cleveland Big Cat Williams, Cleveland just did not know where he was.
Muhammad Ali was 212. Williams was 210 at weigh-in.
Oh, okay. Well, dudes were smaller back then. Like, think about Rocky Marciano. He was only 185.
Yeah,
when he was the
but the
champ.
thing is that people don't realize because he's fighting like a lighter guy, you got a bigger guy hitting guys, especially he'll trick people to coming in, and that magnifies everything.
Yeah,
So,
well, sort of, but they're basically the same size. But
Yeah.
212 is fairly small. This is smaller than Mike was when Mike was in his prime, and Mike was only like 215, 220.
221.
Yeah.
So that's why it's interesting because like Mike moved his head, and the people who did the best against Muhammad Ali was with Joe Frazier and Ken Norton, who moved their heads.
Yes, but again, these are the guys after this 3-year break. This 3-year break, Muhammad Ali didn't train. He didn't train at all for 3 years. When you watch when he comes back after that, like, come on, son.
Yeah.
The speed. And Cleveland's like, what the fuck
Yeah,
is
it's the
going
speed,
on?
but speed and a bigger guy. That's the thing. That's the thing because like you thought when we were going in this clip that he was bigger than Muhammad Ali.
I did.
But the thing is, like, people don't realize how big Muhammad Ali actually was because George Foreman, was a monster.
Look at these combinations.
And they were his legs are bigger than George Foreman's.
Right.
And we know where the power is, right?
Well, George Foreman, what did he weigh when they fought?
218, and I think Muhammad Ali was 214. They were like right. So the actual fight day, who was heavier?
Right.
But I'm just saying it's interesting.
It is.
Because you got a guy the same size as Foreman moving faster.
Yeah, but he didn't in that fight. In that fight, he mostly laid on the ropes, remember? I mean,
Well,
he did
the roper though, but I'm saying
did a lot of that.
He's still a big
220. 212 to 220. Pretty close.
Yeah, I've seen it different. I've seen that
It's just,
218.
he wasn't the same guy. If George Foreman of that time fought Cleveland, the Muhammad Ali that fought Cleveland Big Cat Williams, is a completely different fight. Foreman's getting pieced up.
Yeah,
Foreman's getting pieced up from the outside. And Ali was just picking him apart and moving, and Foreman swinging it air. He was like nobody else before him, man. He was so different. He was different. But those 3 years when he had to take 3 years, and he didn't train at all, and then he came back, and now he's 30, and no strength and conditioning for 3 years, no running, no boxing. His body looked different.
Yeah.
Who did he fight when he came back? He fought
Lyle?
No, that white dude that horrible brain damage towards the end.
Cobb?
Jerry Cooney.
Oh, Jerry.
No, Jerry Quarry. Jerry Quarry.
Okay.
Yeah, when he fought Jerry Quarry. See if you find that fight. Now, look at his body when you see it. You see his body smooth. His footwork doesn't look the same. His timing is off. He had a ton of ring rust. He just didn't. What's that, Jimmy? He just didn't look the same. He didn't look the same. And I think that 3 years, they fucked him, man.
Yeah.
They fucked him. And, I mean, look, it made him a cultural hero because he wasn't willing to fight in Vietnam. And, he famously, like, look at his body. It's different, man. He's just not the same guy anymore. He's not moving as fast. And Jerry Quarry was just a really tough guy who was, famous for being able to take a beating.
Yeah.
Like, Ali didn't have the endurance anymore. Like, look at him. He's just not the same guy anymore, man.
Yeah.
He was a shadow of what he was before. He still went on to win the title. He still went on, but I always wonder what he would have been if those 3 years were not stolen from him in his peak, in his prime.
Yeah. That would have been something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one interesting thing. Another interesting thing about Ali is like, try to find him throwing a body shot.
Right. Not a lot of those.
No, he almost never did.
Maybe a jab or two to the body.
Like
it's true.
It'd be interesting to count up all the body shots throughout his whole career, and you might get 10.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
That's why. I mean, that's why when when people talk about the greatest boxer, of course he's one of the greatest human beings, greatest Americans ever.
Right.
Like just man, the stuff he talk about putting himself out there for as far as a servant of the world. There's nobody. I don't know anybody who compares to him.
Also, the personality when he would go on talk shows and he was just so fun.
How sharp was he?
Oh, so sharp.
And all those things were memorized.
One of my favorite ones was Howard Cosell said, "You're very truculent, champ," and he goes, "Whatever truculent means, if it's good, I'm that."
Oh yeah.
I mean, he was just a different human being.
He was not scared of anything, man.
No.
So there's some stuff some interviews that he's being real controversial. Like he would actually talk shit to people and talk about whooping their ass. You know, just recently I've seen some stuff that I was like, wow, I hadn't seen this one. But,
if anybody disrespected him, if anybody if they wouldn't call him Muhammad Ali, if they were calling him Cassius Clay, he would fuck them up.
Yeah.
What's my name? Pop. What's my name?
Yeah.
Pop.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a special person, and just culturally, like one of the most significant figures ever in the history of America.
Period.
Because at a time where the world was torn, like, why the fuck are we in Vietnam? And this one guy says, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, we're going to strip your title away from you. And then for 3 years, he was, persecuted, and the whole world was watching, and they eventually let him fight again.
Yeah.
But by then, we had realized that Vietnam was not a just war.
Yeah.
And this guy, they had taken 3 years of his life away from him because he wasn't willing to participate.
Yeah, man. What a hero, man.
A real hero.
Yeah,
a real
absolutely.
hero. And, again, a cultural icon. Like, just a different kind of human being that inspired so many people outside of fighting. My parents were hippies. And my parents wanted to watch the Leon Spinks rematch when he fought Leon Spinks. Like, everybody was excited, sitting around. I'm like, I remember being a little kid going, I can't believe they want to watch this fight. This is so weird to me. Like, they want to watch a fight. Because that's who Muhammad Ali was. He was just different. He meant something to America in a way that no other fighter before or since has.
Yeah. Man, there's so many, just even for equal rights and just
For
just
everything.
so much that I really can't think of many people that's been more significant.
No,
in
and
that
made
struggle.
people think. Made people think about, like, what do you stand for? Like, what do you? I mean, this guy, he could have easily just taken some stupid fucking desk job with the Army or something, and
Easily, yeah. I mean, I did a movie last year in Louisville, Kentucky, and while I was there, I went and visited Muhammad Ali's gravesite. And dude, man, I didn't expect it. I was just like, let me see it. And dude, I couldn't talk for 2 hours afterwards. I just sat in my car and just got overwhelmed just to think what this man really meant.
Yeah.
It was just like it jacked me up. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, I can't think of another fighter that meant more, like in terms of like a cultural icon. Can't think of another
Yeah,
one.
and put his life on the line and just was so,
And a cautionary tale to fighters too
Yes.
about the end, about fighting too long. Look, no one
Yeah.
ever forgave Larry Holmes for beating him up.
Yeah.
Larry Holmes, one of the greatest heavyweight champions of all time, never got his just due.
Right.
Because people never forgave him for beating up Ali,
Yeah. Honestly, yeah.
which is crazy.
yeah.
It's not fair. Didn't make any sense. I mean,
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali was trying to beat him up, but everybody knew, even though Ali was fighting, everybody knew it was over. He wasn't the Muhammad Ali of old.
Yeah, and he wanted to call it into the fight, man. Like Holmes was like, "Why am
Yeah.
I doing this?"
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was sad. And he wasn't. Holmes was never that much of a likable presence, and it's hard to come behind Muhammad Ali.
Right. He was never that kind of a personality.
Yeah.
But damn, did he have a jab.
Oh,
Woo!
that's the best jab around.
Woo! Larry
Yeah,
Holmes. Even when he
yeah.
fought Tyson, when he was popping him with that jab, and it
Yeah.
made you wonder, God, I wonder what Larry would have done in his prime. This would have been an exciting fight to see in his prime.
No, the two of them.
Yeah. I still
Oh, yeah.
don't think he would have been able to beat prime Tyson.
No.
But it was
Yeah,
wild to see.
Tyson made his bones on fighting bigger guys and making them miss and pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he load up on on his legs, and a lot of times when he's landing, he's in the air.
Yep.
He's in the air, man.
It was the speed, too. Middleweight speed in a heavyweight body.
He's the fastest. Well, he was one of the fastest heavyweights. I think There's one guy, I forget his name.
Usyk's pretty damn fast.
Oh, Usyk's nice.
Yeah.
Oh man, talk about a person. He's funny. That's a funny dude. Man.
Oh, he's a character.
Yeah.
And you want to talk about technique too. And another guy was trained by the same guy as Lomachenko. Lomachenko's father trained Usyk.
Oh, cool.
Which is also why he's like a heavyweight Usyk or a heavyweight Lomachenko.
Lomachenko, yeah.
He's got that footwork and movement and that Russian style, that Ukrainian Russian style. It's like those guys, they figured out movement and footwork. Bivol has it.
Yeah.
It's like we're very fortunate that we can see all of these incredible human beings that have risked their life and their health and put it on the line, so we could see true lessons about character and technique.
Yeah, I just wish heavyweights would concentrate on technique a little bit more.
Right.
I mean, we're
maybe
missing out on
Usyk's changing people's perspective on that. Maybe they're realizing, like, wow, you can't just 1-2 everybody.
Yeah, I think what happened, and there's another thing in this country, it's like people, I think, they're not following boxing. They're not getting into boxing. A lot of these guys are going for the money. They'll try to play football or whatever.
Well, since Deontay, we haven't really had a heavyweight boxing champion in America. Deontay was our last heavyweight boxing champion.
Yeah, and talk about technique is,
not the best.
Yeah.
But, he had what Teddy Atlas likes to call the eraser.
Right, yeah, true.
He can make all the mistakes in the world. He had that one eraser. Blam!
Yeah.
Deontay's was the craziest knockout punchers that's ever existed.
Yeah.
It was nuts. He hit you moving backwards and flatline you.
Yeah, but we weighed like 212.
209 when he fought Tyson Fury the first time. 209.
Yeah, he and I went shooting before. Like we've done some tactical stuff together. Yeah,
really nice guy.
Yeah,
I love talking to him on the podcast.
Oh yeah, he's great. I don't know. Like, just work on his technique, man. It's like, geez, I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's too late.
It's what you do for a living.
I think he relied on that gift for so long. Because, look at the gift, though. At one point in time, he was like 39 knockouts out of 40 fights.
Yeah. But it's like
I know. Nuts. But it didn't matter when it landed. When it landed, you couldn't do shit about all that sloppiness.
I still wouldn't mind seeing AJ versus him.
I still wouldn't mind that either.
That'd be interesting.
I think after the car accident, AJ might be done though, because he was, he was knocked unconscious in that car accident. I heard really bad. I heard he was out for like 10 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, and his two friends died.
That's
after all his fights, and that is the last thing he needed is some extracurricular brain damage like that.
True.
And then also losing his two great friends like that, it's got to be, that's just fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's a sad thing, but I think if he's my brother or my cousin, I'd be like, you got to go through this. You can't let, you got to, for their sake.
Yeah.
What would your friends want you to do?
Well, we'll see.
Yeah. I hope for the best because look, he's another one of our warriors, man. He puts his body and life on the line. For us, man. It's like that's our modern day gladiator,
I know there's nothing like a fight. It's different than any kind of sporting event. It's very different. And the losses are way different. They're way harder to deal with, and the victories are way greater.
Yeah, one of my best friends being Frankie, man. Like, so I got a front seat to all of that. Frankie knocked out Roy Jones back in the amateurs, and I wanted to see him get his due. He was WBA super middleweight champ for 5 years straight, but it was a front seat to the boxing life and the fighting life, and.
It's a hard world.
Yeah, it is.
It's a hard world. In the end, it's not pretty, and there's no one there for you. In the end, I was watching this piece on Bobby Chacon, who was a great fighter in the 80s, and oh my God, in the end, it was horrible. It's just horrible watching just the deterioration and the brain damage and no one there for you, and that's a lot of guys.
Yeah, and if your brain, it doesn't regenerate, then.
No, it only gets worse.
Yeah.
And if you're experiencing brain damage now, without treatment, there's some treatments now that they're able to use to help regenerate some neural tissue, and but there's a certain amount you never come back from.
Yeah. Yeah, I know my son. One of my sons is. I mean, he's been going to. I forgot what do they call it? This is like a stimulation thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
the magnetic stuff.
Yeah, it's man, I forget. But it's actually helped him out a great deal. I mean, he kind of went a kind of a interesting route, like kind of experimented with some stuff before, but now he's kind of come back. It's turned him around.
What happened to him?
Yeah, he kind of was like getting high, doing kind of went that route for a minute, but it's but he's gotten. I've just actually seen things turn around with this. I don't know why I can't remember, but it's this brain stimulation thing, and it kind of rewires you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think I heard you talk about the
Ibogaine.
NED and those type of things. Yeah. So there's things that are going.
There are things that can help, but
Yeah.
you got to be very vigilant about it.
Yeah. So I've been connected to like a lot of the anti-aging type of stuff.
We're getting
it's
up there,
fascinating.
brother.
Yeah, it's fascinating. A good friend of mine is Bob Goldman. I don't know if you know Dr. Bob Goldman is.
No.
Yeah, you should have him on your show. He's an interesting guy. He runs A4M. I don't know if you ever heard. It's this conglomerate of doctors all around the world that's dedicated to fixing causes of diseases, not just chasing around the symptoms and stuff. And so it's like we're very much in the face of the pharmaceutical companies. They are really dedicated to like taking care of things from the source.
Okay.
And it's been going on for a while, man. It's like they have like about 6 of these things a year. One of the biggest ones is in Vegas. But like you look it up, A4M.
Okay. I'll check it out.
Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's been dealing with them. I've actually I've hooked Nick Diaz up with him to help him because they're on the forefront of the new medicine type stuff. So yeah, it's an interesting thing. A4M, they have a lot of doctors who will be giving lectures on all the most innovative stuff, and they have all the newest equipment. That's just like just the biggest kind of I don't know, like rooms, just huge rooms full of all the most.
Collaborating. Yeah. It's a good time to be an older person. There's a lot of science behind it now.
They have the belief that you should be in your, living to 100, but healthily.
Yeah.
They really believe that. And
if it's ever been possible, now's the time.
Oh, yeah.
I think so, too.
Yeah, you should. Like my doctor, Dr. Alavizos, my doctor's 63. He looks like a freaking superhero.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
63-year-old guys when we were kids were basically dead.
Yeah,
they were just old men, frail, feeble.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. It's like, and we're getting older, but knock wood, man. I've been very fortunate. I've been very lucky.
Yeah, me too. This is a good time to be an older person.
Yeah, man, you look good, man.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah. I think I'm a little older than you, though.
How old are you?
Yeah,
I'm 58.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm a little older than you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you look great.
Well, thank you.
You look great then if you're older than me.
I feel good.
Yeah.
I feel very good.
It's really good. Well, there's so much information now on how to maintain your body and how to maintain your health when you're older.
Yep.
Well, hey, brother, it's been great. I'm glad we got together.
Me too, man. Again, man, I got to tell you, man, how proud I am. Joe from the gym is doing his thing, man, in a big way, man.
I feel the same about you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, man.
This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
We'll do it again sometime.
Yeah, we got to.
All right.
All right,
sure.
brother.
Definitely. Thank you. All right. Bye, everybody.